Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caspervision, mate. Not Casper Sight, this is Caspervision, the second channel. Thank you so much for coming over to this freaky deakiness. Not usually freaky deaky on this video, but today is a very special day. Because me and my mate Mace, right Mace?
What's on, boy?
What's up, boy? We're going to be interviewing on this podcast Twin Paranormal, mate. Absolutely. Now, on there we've got River, we've got Nick, we've got Ryan, and we've got, hopefully, we've got Wyatt. Apparently he's still asleep at the moment, but he's getting up. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. Listen, the channel link to Twin Paranormal is in the description as always. Make sure you go over to their channel, subscribe, and do the thing. Okay? This is going to be good, man. We've got loads of questions from you guys as well. So thank you so much to the people on Discord, and the YouTube community, the Twitters and all that, DMs and stuff. You guys have been going on another level, asking like all these questions. So I'm going to do my best. Well, between me and Mace, we're going to do our best to answer all of the questions. All right. So look, we're going to jump into their lobby, and we're going to chat to them. All right. Right. Without further ado, diddly day. Let's do this. Wagwan.
Oh, hey.
Hey. How's it going, peeps?
How's it going?
Welcome, mate. Welcome, and thank you so much for doing this, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, Nick, it's good to speak to you, mate. It's good to speak to you.
I'm here.
To you.
Oh, he's here.
How you
Hello.
doing?
Hello. Hello.
What's going on?
Listen, that
Hey,
mate.
man.
Look, where's Wyatt? Is he awake yet?
Yeah, he's awake. He's trying to get Discord on his computer right now because his phone just doesn't work very well.
Oh,
He
right.
said he got it, so I think we just need to invite him.
Oh, okay,
nice.
cool.
I don't think we should believe a word he says.
No, he should be able to join because this is the podcast channel. So
Is he nervous? Is he used to these types of things?
I don't
No.
think so.
I feel like Wyatt never gets nervous, man.
He never looks nervous, mate. He always looks the cool one, like proper cool in the background.
Yeah, but you guys should see him behind the camera because, like, yeah, he usually. I don't know. Last location we went to, he got pretty frightened and he started going behind River, and River's like, "Dude, why are you getting behind me?"
Oh,
I just
shit.
don't know."
Mate, okay, that's just made me think of so many questions. Like, just right there, that's just made me think of so many questions. But I got to start out by saying, first of all, like, your fucking channel, okay, you guys' channel is fucking so good. And the reason why I think it's so good, right, because as you know, I react to like horror channels and things like that. The one thing that stands out for me for your channel is like how genuine it comes across. Do you know what I mean? And not fake. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like over. You know when you can blatantly see that something's clearly fake.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So hats off to you guys for doing that. Like, you know.
Thank you.
Really, and I've said it before in one of my reactions. It's like just the sound, the editing, like just the look and the feel. Don't you reckon, Mace?
Oh, mate, they make it
Yeah,
look well
thank you.
easy. You make it look really easy, but I know it's not. You know, me and Ben went out on that ghost hunt, and it was just like a comedy sketch, man. Yeah.
See, it's incredible because we when we started, our audio and just the quality wasn't that good, and we sat down and thought about it, and we were like, dude, we want to be the best. So how can we be the best? And so we got all these different mics and different camera.
Oh,
Mm.
mate, it's amazing. It's amazing.
We-
You're doing a really good job.
We also pour literally everything into this. Like when we go out, dude, we're not just going out because we're looking for views or whatever. We're actually trying to catch what we can, trying to get that actual. Because when we were younger, when me and River were younger, we had all kinds of things happening to us that just didn't make any sense, and so we decided, let's go out and actually try and find out if this is real. Obviously, us four being together, going to these locations and whatnot, makes us, scared because who's not going to be scared when you go to a location that is known to be haunted and some shit is actually happening?
Yeah.
It's like, the thing you
You
need to
can-
do most of the time is take that deep breath and be like, okay, don't freak out too much, which obviously I freak out quite a bit, but I'll try and collect myself, and I'll be like, look, dude, like, not all of these spirits are gonna be like, psycho and try and hurt you and whatnot. So try and let them know that everything's gonna be okay, and just let them know that you give a shit about them. You're not
Yeah.
just there to try and catch some evidence and then go.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I see Wyatt here, mate.
Hello, hello.
How's it going,
Hey,
dude?
Wyatt, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Good morning. Have you just woken up, have you?
Yeah, got myself a nice cup of coffee.
Me too, mate. Me too. Good to
Oh,
have
I
all
had
four
one
of you,
cup,
man.
man.
It's good to have all
What's
four of
this?
you here.
What's this streamer's life, mate? Eh? I'm the only one who doesn't stream here. Yeah, I've been up since 6 a.m. All you buggers waking up at
Yeah.
like midday. Another day, another dollar.
Hey,
yeah.
hey, it's tough, Mace. It's bloody tough,
Oh,
mate.
it sounds it, mate. It must be really hard.
I'm not gonna lie. This is probably one of the, well, for me personally, because I'll have to wake up early in the morning, and I obviously I edit all week, man. I'll wake up early, and this actually the last video that we put out at the Cobb Mansion, I was up
Brilliant, by the
early in
way.
the morning, and I stay up till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'd just be editing. And actually, after this podcast, we are heading to another location to go and rinse and repeat. That's what it takes. And I actually said to some of my friends, I'm not gonna lie, this job is probably the hardest job that I've ever had to do. Not physical labor,
Mm.
because I've done physical labor and whatnot, but mentally, it's
Yeah.
just it's so exhausting, man. But it's worth it. It is,
Mm.
It's
'cause
also the best job, to be
yeah,
perfectly honest.
Yeah.
it's worth it because you're making people happy, is what I'm
Right.
trying
Yeah,
to get
that's
at.
what I was just gonna say. It's like it's really worth it when you actually have a bunch of people that enjoy what you do.
Yeah, man.
You put all these hours into editing or just creating content in general,
Mm.
and everyone's like super excited about it.
Yeah.
You can see you all love it, mate. That's what makes it. You're like a little family, little brothers, mate. You can see. I know, obviously, River and Ryan are brothers. I don't know the history on Nick and Wyatt, but you can see that you're a close bunch of friends, mate, and you really enjoy doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's cool, man. It's cool to watch.
And I think also it's like, especially I think when, because you guys, your channel's just like, it's growing quick, man. It's really growing quick, isn't it? And I suppose with that,
It surprised us, honestly.
yeah,
To be perfectly honest, we still haven't gotten used to it in a way. I mean, because we only just started a bit less than a year ago,
hmm
and we
Right.
got to where we are now, and we really just started it as like a personal interest or like a calling, if you will, and feeling like you're getting somewhere in something you really want to do that's like a dream to you. There's really no feeling like it in the world, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. But adding on to that, I think that also as it grows, don't you feel like that maybe there's added pressure as well? 'Cause,
I
know,
would say
what-
yes.
yeah, what Ryan was saying, with it's not so much the physical, it's the mental side of thing. It's just like, it's that invisible pressure overhanging. It's like, okay, this has got to be good. This has got to be, how can we do this? Like, oh shit, it's like, for example, years ago I was a plasterer, and once you finish that job, you think to yourself in the future, well, shit, when's my next job? I haven't got any phone calls yet. I can't,
Dude.
Exactly.
Every live premiere that we do, I am sweating. I have so much anxiety because I'm so worried. What if our viewers don't like this one?
Mm.
And I know they everybody's like, they're gonna like it, but personally, me, I pour so much into this editing and putting this, because you can go and film somewhere and put the video together and it's just a video. Now how I edit, dude, I put my heart and soul. I need to create a story for everybody. I need it to be perfect. I want I want to give them that immersion, so it feels like they are there with us. And it's just a lot of work to put into it. But like I said, every live premiere, man, I get so much anxiety because I want everybody to be happy about it. And, maybe I shouldn't stress over it too much, but just this job itself is so difficult sometimes.
I think it's just because you care, mate. I think as you guys, you care, and I'm sure like all of you get a little bit nervous when the premiere it goes on and stuff like that. But like I say, it just shows that you care, and it's nice and humble to see that you're genuine about your emotions. You could quite easily sit here and go, yeah, we premiere, we do our thing. You know what I'm saying? But deep down, you're only human. And
Yeah.
you
Man.
you want to make people happy.
Yeah, and here I am just worried about a bad camera angle.
But hey,
Ryan,
I'm
you got
gonna
so much
get
on your plate, brother.
yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna get to you in a second. I'm gonna get to you in a second, River, because
no, no,
yeah,
no.
I've got lots of questions for you, mate. But before we get into that, I wanna just sort of like maybe for maybe some viewers or listeners, I should say, jumping in thinking, right, okay, like how did this start? Where what's going on? Who are the brothers? Tell us a little bit of history about, I suppose. First of all, Ryan and River, like about you two. Was it your idea to create a channel? Was it all your four friends like put together to come up with a channel? How did that channel first come about?
So, well, okay. So before everything, before all of the paranormal stuff and whatnot, we had our own vlog channel. We were doing like jackass stuff,
Right.
and we were called the Savage Twins. Actually,
Yeah.
it
Don't
almost
look
went
that up.
somewhere. Yeah, don't. Well, you
Yeah,
can if
don't-
you want.
Oh man.
Anyways.
Ryan,
So-
quickly hide the videos.
So when we first started, we were doing all of that. This was when we were about 15, 16. We were just looking for that, I guess the crazy stunts and whatnot would give us that, rush, that high and whatnot. And so we started filming it. And obviously I was still in the middle of learning how to edit. So they're not the best of videos,
Hmm.
but we did come across a guy who was filming for MTV. He was one of the filmers. And I guess you could say he was a little bit of a director to one of the shows on MTV.
Right.
I ended up filming a movie with one of the guys that we know here in town, and I was one of the characters in the movie. Turns out the guy who was filming the movie, he worked for MTV, and he was in the middle of signing us off to go into MTV.
Oh, what?
And yeah, it ended up shit went south. He got pulled over for a drug bust, and so he lost his job, and our contract was no longer because we were signing the contract through him.
Oh,
So
right.
that was a bummer.
Shit, man.
Yeah, just don't say his
And
name.
then-
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
His name is bleep bleep.
Yeah.
So later down the road, we started just falling out, man. You start to party too much, you start to hang out with your friends, and you just start to lose interest. And well, me personally, I still wanted to continue to do this and whatnot, but the guys who we were filming with, they just, everybody was starting to get busy and saying we're not going to make it. So then we, totally stopped that for like 2 years. Then we decided, you know what, dude, me and my brother had this like just wake up, and I was like, man, we are born to film. I'm born to edit. So let's start another vlog channel. We started it, and we are called the Vulture Twins. It's a
Oh,
wolf
yeah.
and a vulture merged together as the word vulture.
Okay.
And so we were doing daily vlogs and whatnot. And that was kind of making us happy, but not too much happy at all.
Right.
And
Why is
so
that?
we were like thinking,
It was a lot of work. Like we
was.
used to post like every day, I think for
It
like
was.
3 months or
It
something.
was literally every day we had to have an idea and put it into motion and film it.
Oh, so
Well,
you
for
were
the most
involved with
part.
it as well, Nick? Yeah.
Yeah. I've been involved since the Savage Twins.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
well, for the Vulture Twins, it was mainly me and River, because Nick was pretty busy at that time. So like some of the videos Nick was in, but that was kind of more of a focus on like trying to show everybody our daily life. But who were we really going to show it to?
Hmm.
We didn't really have a following, and so we decided we ended up moving to Washington due to our dad, because he had picked up cancer again. So my dad has actually had cancer quite a bit, and
Yeah,
so
sorry to hear that, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah,
man.
he's definitely a fighter, and he's done so good, and
Yeah, he's a
man,
trooper.
the guy is literally, he's a legend, within success and just how he is able to fight off so much.
Hmm.
So we ended up being alone here in Nevada, and I just, it was a bummer because we were away from our dad, and so we had to make that decision, leave all of our friends and go to Washington so that we can take care of our dad and make sure he's okay, or just stay in Nevada and, not get to see our dad. Well,
Hmm.
so we decided to move to Washington. lived there for a little bit over a year, and we just, we were not happy. We couldn't film because it would rain every day,
Oh, really?
and
Oh,
so
like us then, mate.
Yeah.
oh,
Fucking join the party,
Oh,
mate.
it,
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
it was awful because we used to film outside like every day because I mean that was just a thing. You go out, you didn't want to be cooped up in the house, and you just find something to do.
Yeah.
And it would just be raining. So I'd be holding an umbrella and I'd have the camera. Or for a minute there, we actually had Ryan's girlfriend holding the camera for us.
Right.
And it's like it just was so much, man, so much.
well,
Yeah.
so after all of the vlogs and whatnot, um, we hadn't seen Nick for I think a year before he finally came down to Washington and visited us. So I had this idea. I had been talking to Nick for the past I think 2 or 3 months. River had no idea, but River was dealing with all kinds of depression. We had no friends. We had nothing out there, and so I was like, "Look, Nick, you fly down here. We surprise River," and you know then it ended up happening. He flew down and whatnot. I told him film the whole thing because I have an idea. Um, let's start exploring and investigating, dude. Let's start getting this ghost shit together because we were always into that, always watching
Yeah.
Nuke's Top Five, and just we loved that feeling. I've always loved the butterflies in my stomach where it's just feeling like I don't know if I should be doing this,
Oh, really?
but
Yeah.
then again, let's do this because it feels good to go and try and find out, what the truth is and whatnot.
You just
So we
Rambo'd it.
started out. Yeah, pretty much. We just jumped right into it and with barely any devices at all. And when he came down, he had surprised River. That's actually in the series, our first series that we did with the ghost hunting. It's called The Witch's Castle, and we tried to basically make it into like a obviously ghost investigation and whatnot, but we tried to make it more into kind of a movie. So we do a 4-part
Yeah.
series and whatnot, and just make everybody like be able to watch a movie of us having an adventure and then getting into the investigating and just letting people see how good our friendship was and what made and brought us together to where we are here now.
Yeah,
So
it was basically like I'm sorry. It was basically transferring from our vlog style content into this new style of content. Because you can like really tell based off of our vlog content in the beginning or like throughout the video, it was kind of like vloggy in a way,
Mm.
and then kind of went into the movie aspect of like the creep vibe and kind of like what we do now. So
Yeah.
it's pretty
It's sort
cool,
of
I'd say.
evolved into what it is now. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good, mate. You can
Got your
really see
calling.
that. You can see. Like I'll hold my hands up. I've only known about you guys for probably 2, 3 months, maybe. But as soon as I saw you, mate, I saw the editing. I saw the way you did your videos, and I just fell in love with it straight away. I loved it. I loved the editing. That's what
Thank you so
attracted me
much.
first
Yeah,
off, man.
thank you.
I
So
loved the way it was edited.
Wyatt, mate, when did you get into the scene?
Well, I was in a couple of the Vulture Twin episodes,
Mm-hmm.
but when I stayed in touch with them throughout their time in Washington, and when they decided they were going to come back down to Reno, with the coronavirus kicking in and everything being buck wild, I told them to just come down here and stay at the house with me and my family, because they kind of didn't have anywhere else to roll to. So when they got down here, and they were talking to me about being on the channel and if I'd want to join in, and I was super excited about it. So
Yeah.
we went to the Donner Pass train tunnels, had a great time with it, and I was working at Les Schwab doing tires full time, and I up and quit my job and
Oh,
committed to it,
wow.
and now
You did the
Nice.
yeah,
we're
you
here.
did the London, man, the jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally at this time, okay, so when we were living in Washington, we were obviously not happy. So we decided, hey, trying to contact some of our friends because we knew if we would make this move, it was going to be a very difficult move because at the time we only had 1,000 subscribers. We knew we weren't really anywhere, but me and River had this weird just feeling. I was like, look, dude, I'm feeling it. I feel like if we go back to Reno and work hard on our videos and just keep pounding them out, I know we're gonna go somewhere before the end of the year. I was like, I'm thinking, 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And it, we came down, ended up staying in Wyatt's trailer in the backyard, and thanks to him, we were able to actually get down here, and we were like, look, you should be on this channel. I'm telling you, something's going to happen, dude. We're about to start going wild. And I just had that feeling. And a lot of the people that I would talk to, they just didn't believe it. We actually had this kid who I'm not going to say his name, who thinks that he's like, obviously, those people who think they're better than you or whatnot. He's like, nah, you guys are never going to make it, and blah, blah, blah. If anything, we're going to make it before you. And I was like, nah, that's not the case, man. Look,
You get
we're going to work hard.
F you, man.
Yeah, fuck you, man. Yeah, watch your space.
No, and why does it matter? Like, even if he did make it or whatever, like, be happy for anyone who's like doing the hustle like you are.
Yeah,
it ain't easy.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. You get people like that, and and it just makes me laugh. It's just, even just sometimes saying to somebody, "Oh, what do you do there?" "Oh, I'm a YouTuber. I'm content creator." What?
Yeah. Well, how many subscribers do you have? A couple.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hear something crazy on that note?
What's that, mate?
So I flew down to Texas a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was headed back to the airport, and I got myself an Uber. And I get in this Uber, and this guy's driving. He's like, "Hey, what do you do?" And I told him, I was like, "Yeah, I make YouTube videos." And he knew who I was.
Sweet.
He's like, "Yeah, dude, first time ever, man."
Riff got the first one.
Yeah. He's like, "You wouldn't happen to do ghost hunting and stuff, right?" I was like, I do, actually. He's like, "You have a twin brother?" I was like,
shit.
Yeah.
And you're like,
he
"Yeah, and I'm the one that's usually behind the camera."
He started naming off like all of our videos and stuff. I was like, "Oh my gosh, man,
You're
this is
so lucky,
insane."
dude.
Yeah,
That's
it just
cool.
see that made me feel good. That was like that extra push towards like, man, we are doing something good here, and it's positive for some people out there. And I mean, just the feeling, man. I was like, holy crap! Like, wow.
You see, that's the thing. Is like for me, it's like from a very, very, very young age, I've always tried to make people laugh, being the entertainer, the class clown sort of thing, and like getting messages, and I'm sure you guys get them as well. Get messages like, you make my days get a bit easier, you bring a smile to my face, and just that there, mate, just makes it all fucking worthwhile. It really does. It is so nice. It's so nice to hear that from the community. Do you know what I mean? You guys must get it. You guys must get it.
Oh, we get it a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, and even like being, children, we went through it, man. We went through such a hard time, and it really damaged us. I mean, even to this day. So to have this amount of support is it's incredible, man. And like, I suffer a lot from depression, and this really does help me in a way. I try not to let it affect my daily life, but sometimes, man, it's just so hard until I like wake up and I see like, all these people supporting, and it's just incredible, man. Like,
yeah.
It's true,
hard
man.
work, hard work goes into something like this.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. But I think also on the flip side, it can be maybe a dangerous game to. I mean, it's great to have those comments and have people say, like you say, recognize you in that. I mean, I would love for you just being in that Uber, mate. And he says, "Are you on the YouTube channel? Are you these paranormal investigators? You should have been like, oh fuck it, who do I sign it to? You want an autograph? Oh God,
man, it could have gone the other way too.
Yeah, I'm so tired of this shit." But,
it would have been funny. It would have been funny if he was like one of them that dislikes all the videos and stuff.
You're like a proper hater. Your stuff's so shit, man. It's so fake.
He just drops you off immediately.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He just stops. He's like, "Get out."
Man, it could have been way worse.
But what I was gonna say is like it could be sort of like I think it's not so much a dangerous game, but I think that if you solely rely on that feedback, it's a dangerous game, because what you've got to do, and I don't think you guys are doing it, because you've clearly found something that you all enjoy doing. You do this because you want to do it. But if you're doing it solely because you want like almost like recognition, you know, and feedback from people, that's an unhealthy, because once your channel does start getting like a lot bigger and things like that, and you start getting hate and all this sort of stuff, that's when I think it can get to you, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because you know it must be tough, like when I'm sure, and I'm not saying this because your content, but when you've got an idea or opinion about something, comments can, like negative comments can come on, because they, you know, they're opposite of a lot of people's opinions to what your opinion are. So it's about trying to deal with that. And like, you know, one of the questions you probably get a lot, like, well, I say a lot here and there, is fake, because there's a lot of channels out there which have fake things. So what's your thoughts on, you know, the people that do come onto your channel and comment and stuff, this is so fucking fake and all that stuff? What's your comments, thoughts?
You know what's wild is like it's so crazy how our community, the Ghost Gang is what we call our community, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
Most of them are so supportive, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's rare that we do get haters, and usually, let's see, I think last week's episode there was one guy who had commented fake, and usually what I'll do is I usually have this response where when I don't want to deal with the haters, and obviously I don't want to talk shit back because I'm not that kind of person. Everybody has their own opinion. So either sometimes I'll be like, well, can you explain what you think is fake about it? Because I understand that there are other channels that are they're literally looking for those views, and they're just like you said, they're looking for people to notice them, and just it all gets to their head and whatnot. Either that, or when somebody's super disrespectful, then I'll literally just put in the comments, yeah, probably. That's what I just write. Yeah, probably. And for some reason, that response to people, I don't know why, but they'll go and delete their comment after I just say, yeah, probably. Like someone would be like, you guys are like such freaking druggies, or like somebody would be like, you guys are pussies, and I'll just comment it, like I'll put in the comments, yeah, probably. And then I'll look to see if they responded, like, you know, hours later, and then I can't find the comment anymore. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
they must have deleted it because
it's inevitable. You're gonna get those people that.
Oh yeah.
When you get bigger and bigger, you can't please everyone, mate. You know, I've been having this conversation with Ben, and you know,
yeah, because I've spoken to you about some things, haven't I, mate?
Yeah, you've just got to keep doing you, mate, and just the reason why you're blowing up and the reason why you're doing so well is because people fucking love you. And
Oh yeah.
if you you know, yeah, there must be channels out there that have started well and then ended bad by that they've started faking shit to get views and all this stuff, and it just goes downhill, doesn't it? People
Oh
can
yeah.
see it.
No, we definitely have seen a few channels that started out really good, you know, super positive, and then later on, you know, they want to up their game, so they do start faking stuff, and it's very obvious because a lot of people, it's like, you know what a genuine reaction is to like something that's obviously pretty faked.
Yeah.
Especially if you've already been watching that channel for a long time as well, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
Somebody
definitely.
new might not notice it, but you feel like you know the person. You know, that's another sign of a good big channel. You feel like you've got a connection there, and you feel like you're watching your friend. Although with me, Ben is actually my friend. I kinda wish he wasn't sometimes,
Mace, love you, man.
you man.
You know what?
I love you, man.
You know what bums me out though, guys? So it bums me out, but it's obviously going to happen since we are a paranormal channel and whatnot. You know, we'll have these debunkers come after us, and you know that they're coming after people that are starting to do really well because they are looking for views. Also, they're looking for that clout and whatnot. There was a debunker that did a video on us because of one of the apps that we had used. Now, when we would use this app, dude, I swear to you, when we would go out, we would get some legit like interaction. We would get some genuine answers from the questions that we had asked.
Wow.
And so we, you know, we believed in this app and whatnot. Now, when they did the debunk video, they took 3 other paranormal channels who had used the same app, and the app it's basically it's a word bank. So regardless, it's going to say the same thing, but a spirit supposedly is supposed to be able to go into that word bank and pick out the words that it wants to say. So that goes for an actual Ovilus, which is a normal ghost hunting device that people use and whatnot. It's the
That's
same
what we
thing.
use, isn't it, Mace? Did we use that one, Mace, when we went out on ours?
No, man, we used that parallax and we used the necrophonic.
Yeah, necrophonic is the one.
That's
And
the one, yeah.
yeah, they literally pulled up this debunking channel, pulled up 3 different channels, including ours, and it was like one word that was said out of the necrophonic that was the same as all these other guys's, but it wasn't said as in like a full sentence all the same. It's just one word they decided to pick out that all said the same thing. And I was like, well, you know, I'm not trying to be fake or anything. So we stopped completely using that necrophonic app. And I was like, look, dude, I wanted to say something to this debunker, but another thing, I don't want to give them the time of day because regardless, this person keeps trying to attack us and say, oh, this is fake. This is fake. I'm like, how the fuck is this fake? Can you prove it to us? Because from what you're saying is people are starting to just believe your words instead of what proof you have.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer.
And the other thing though is, mate, is if you're using that and you know your team thinks to yourself, oh fucking this app's brilliant, and then you know one person makes a channel with a channel says, oh that's fake, and you stop using that app, you go on to use another app, somebody else says that app's fake, you stop using that, you're running out of fucking apps.
Yeah.
You gotta start rubbing sticks together in a minute and start trying to get some communication.
It's really unfortunate because we really did like necrophonic. Like we did get some great responses that made sense to the whole investigation. You know, we'd call out like to someone and it was almost like they were literally using the app to talk to us back. I mean, you know, every once in a while we get something random, but it's like, I mean, that's expected with anything, even the Ovilus, you know? So
even
it's like,
the actual spirit box, the SB7, man, the same shit happens.
Yeah.
You know, regardless, all of these devices or apps, they do the same thing. You know, we are here to try and get responses, and when you actually get some legit responses, then why come after somebody and be like, oh, that's fake? You know, why doesn't this person come after us and say, well, the SB7 that people have been using for years, literally years, this device, why don't you guys make a video on us saying that that's fake too? You might as well. You know, they're all the same responses and whatnot, but it's how the spirit will use its energy and, you know, grab on or use that device, jump into that, however they do it. It's how they communicate with you. It's not how, you know, the ghost hunters will use the device and whatnot. You know, we don't use it because it's supposedly fake. We use it because of the responses that we get.
Yeah, I do
the
have
links to what you're asking. You know, the responses are relative to what you've been asking. That's what's amazing to me. Even if it has got a word bank in it.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
It doesn't matter about the word bank. It's saying the right response to what you've been asking, and some of them are like, holy shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Pretty much. We have had those gripping moments like that. Something I will say on the same subject is when you capture something that just is truly amazing, like we've been to a couple locations where just absolutely the most wild stuff has happened, and like with my own eyes I'll see it and I'll like think in my mind, I'm like, oh my god, I almost don't believe that, like that's crazy. And to have someone actually say that to you when I know it's real, and to have someone come back and say it to you, it's kind of disheartening to like have someone not think what you're doing is real, and I'm real about it, I'm genuine.
Because it's
So
like
it's
like your
disheartening in a
baby, isn't
way.
it? It's like, you know, you when you know for a fact 100%, and then somebody picks up, it's hard to sort of like not in a way retaliate. It's probably it's probably a better word out there, but you know, it's hard to just try to keep your mouth shut when you're like, no, hang on a second, you want to sort of fight your corner, don't you? You know?
Yeah, exactly. But we're all, like Ryan said, we don't want to like push it and like start an argument because it's just like not worth it.
I don't want to give them the time of day, man. I'm sorry. I just don't want to.
Ryan, do you remember that one guy? We had this person commenting on our channel pretty early on, you know, all kinds of hate comments and trying to prove that things were fake. So I sent him a personal message on Facebook, and I was having a conversation with this guy for like 2 days. And one night at 2 a.m., I got tired of the back and forth, so I called him, and I was trying to get him to explain to me like, you know, what is going on, because he was blowing up our comments.
Yeah,
like it was becoming an issue.
Wow.
And through his explanation and my explanations of why he was wrong, I almost sort of changed his mind. And like to this day, he'll still send me like little clips and parts of our videos and photos, and um, talking about like the legitimacy and apologizing, and
Oh
he'll
yeah.
Nice,
ask us
man.
to
So you
come up to
changed him.
Washington and whatnot.
You converted him.
Oh sweet,
Yeah,
man.
and, like we used
Yeah,
to
telling us to
like
come up to kill us, man. What the hell?
when we
Oh,
were
yeah.
But the thing is, now what you've
we
done
were
there,
getting like
Wyatt, what you've done there now, mate, okay, is you'll be like, oh, fuck me, if I put a negative comment, I'm going to get a phone call from Wyatt. Let's go.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to get a whole load of negative shit now. Yeah. Hi, this is
Oh,
Wyatt. What
I
the hell are
mean-
you talking about?
I mean, Wyatt's the scary one. If you think about it, me, River, and Ryan, we're all like tattooed, and obviously River and Ryan, they're the scary looking ones. But Wyatt, he's the one out of any of us who kind of looks like an axe murderer, don't you think?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, I'm literally just a freaking puddle, man. I don't know. I'm soft.
But
You
I
imagine
used.
Wyatt, mate, with a bloody axe like that, massive axe. Like, are you a skeptic?
Yeah. I do remember you talking about you know, people like calling you out and stuff. I do remember, and I have to put my hands up. I remember it was I think it was the first time I reacted to your one of your videos, or a second time.
Yeah,
And I remember
almost copyrighted it.
So I remember actually picking up on something. I was like, oh, I don't know about this one. And it was the scene where there was a ball on top of the stairs, and there was a little white dot on the ball, and then like you jumped up the top there, Ryan, and then you would like jumping all around the ball to say, look, it's not going to roll, and all this sort of stuff. The scene changed, and the white dot that I looked at was on a different side of the ball, and then it rolled down. I was like, really?
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was one scene, like I say, it was at the top of the stairs. You put the ball down, and you jumped all about. Right?
Oh yeah,
Jumped
yeah,
up
yeah,
and
yeah.
down.
So that scene was that scene was a recap. When we were downstairs, we were saying, yeah, earlier on we had tested it out. So that was the first time we tested it out. But I had popped up the scene, and that was before when Nick had arrived, because we were explaining to Nick that we even tested it out before it fell down, and it had fallen down. So that's why that happened, because River was filming me testing it out, and then it went back to the actual right then and there scene.
Yeah.
Now the second time that I do test it out, I mean, I'd put clips together that are all matched up with audio and everything.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing. People are like, oh, you probably put tape on the bottom or whatever. I'm like, fuck, dude. I really wish I can go back and show more, because the reason why I had to put it at a specific, because if I moved it any further back, it would roll backwards, because that top of the board and whatnot, even on both stair sets, the boards were so warped that it was so hard to adjust exactly where we wanted it to go.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, for when the baseball would fall and whatnot, the videos are so long, man, and that's another thing that I do want to do is throw out those videos, the uncut and unedited or whatever, because the videos are so long, like such a long time frame.
Yeah.
Between when the ball does actually fall down the steps and whatnot. It's literally, we have a clip of a full hour of our camera filming while the ball's just sitting up there.
Oh wow.
We're out doing
Yeah,
our
it was-
investigation, and then the ball
Yeah.
finally falls. Now I don't, if I pieced all these videos together, dude, I would not be able to get them done each episode within a week. Either that, or it would be pretty boring, and it would be like, let's say 6 or 7 part series, which I need to cut these down and show everybody the great stuff that we had caught, all the stuff that we'd captured or whatnot. But eventually, yeah, I definitely do want to make an uncut, and just that one cam. I think I'm just gonna upload it somewhere so that people could just fucking see, and finally just shut up about it. I'm like, man, that's such a bummer.
But the
when,
thing
when
is,
you
mate, look,
feel
this I know what you're saying, like, but the thing is, me as like a reactor to these things, I think that I personally would have been called out if I didn't like pick up on something like that. And like, now I've heard your explanation, it's like, do you know what I mean? And the thing is, this day and age, anything can be faked. Like
Oh, yeah.
all the
I know.
sounds, all the voices, anything that, because like computers now, what we can do, it's just on another level. So anything
yeah.
can be. But I think that, you know, going back to how you guys come across your you know, it's not over the top, it's genuine. It's clear that what the shit that's going on is actually happening and it's real, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and to go,
What was that video where the ball you had a video once where the ball came down the stairs probably 6-7 times?
yeah,
You showed
that's
it.
the Cutthroat Brewing Company.
That was it. That was a good one, mate. Yeah. So when I saw that, you actually saw the whole thing roll down the stairs. So I was like, I think I even got oldie Ben and told him. I was like, oh yeah, mate, you got to see this. This ball's fucking flying down the stairs.
I
Well,
actually
and-
have a video clip of it on my phone too, because I was recording from the side, just
Yeah, I
because I used
remember
to
that,
do
mate.
that a lot. And
Because she was
I,
happy that you got the shot on your phone. You
Yeah.
got the whole thing. I remember.
yeah,
that,
I
mate.
was like, oh my god, I caught it.
right,
Yeah.
and
See-
and the funny thing about even that ball in general, we got there we didn't even bring the ball with us. Like we didn't bring it to the location at all. We
It was
got
given
there.
to us by the owner's
Yeah,
son.
so the ball was there, the owner's son gave it to us, and then we thought about, hey, wouldn't it be crazy, because she says there is activity here, if we did put it at the top of the stairs, and like, just what if
Mm.
it got
Yeah.
pushed down the
Well,
stairs?
it started because she had mentioned that the son and I think daughter, if
Oh,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
correct, were up in the attic and they were playing with some stuff, and I think they had either a basketball or a soccer ball, and they weren't kicking it around, and they swear up and down that the ball got pushed down the stairs by itself. And so that's what gave me the idea. I had asked her if by any chance, do you have any type of ball that we can use tonight so that we can try and capture that and prove it, whatnot. So, and we were actually able to catch that. And we always try to get angles. Angles are always very important because then you can literally show from each angle. And that's why I try to do a replay of a couple of times when the ball was, being pushed down the stairs and whatnot. It's different. And also, what's weird is when we were looking over, I think 2 of the times that it was pushed, for some reason the ball had skipped, I think 2 steps while being pushed off of the top. So that's
From the
kind of
top,
doesn't make
yeah.
any sense. If it were gravity, don't you think it'd
course,
fall
yeah.
down on the first step?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and definitely how far, I mean, if it did hit that first step, it almost hit the very corner of it. So that was
Mhm.
like, you need a little bit of force for that,
Mm. See,
Or
How
at
do
least
you
it's
know
like,
about
fall
that.
asleep at night, man?
well, the thing is, I'm like, I still, and I suppose maybe I pick up on certain things like that because I'm neither a strong skeptic or a strong believer. I'm sort of like on the fence of all this. I'm just sort of like looking at it with wide eyes and saying, okay, let me see. And let me just analyze and take it in and come up with my own thoughts and ideas and opinions, So that's where I am, and I think that because it used to be like years ago, right on the other side. I used to be a full-on believer of all of it, and then as I grew up, and I don't want to go into too much because it's it's your guys, but that's how now I'm sort of like on the fence. I don't know whether it's just turned out that way where I'm just thinking, okay, maybe I started thinking things more of a technical side and scientific side of things, and so that's why I think that I see your, and not just yours, but any other sort of channel that I react to, I'm like, okay, let's try and see it on both sides of the coin,
Yeah.
No, for sure. And I was the same way, to be honest. And when we were kids, we lived in this house that was very, very weird. We always had like all these weird noises happening, or you'd hear walking, and it was just our dad, Ryan, and I, and it was just so odd. Like my dad used to work at a prison that was like roughly around like 2 hours away, so he wouldn't be
Right.
home most of the time, and it would sound like he's home all the time. So
Wow.
we'd run downstairs and like, to greet him, he wouldn't be there. And then we'd go back upstairs and we'd hear all these crazy things,
What the
sometimes
fuck?
to the point where we thought someone had broken in. So there were a couple of times that we actually had the cops come, and they, took a look and, didn't see any possible way that anyone broke in. Just weird. They thought that, it was our imagination, but so weird how it could have been both of our imagination, maybe thinking about that, but it was just so real.
Well,
Like-
let's get into more detail about this one. So there was this would always happen. Our dad had worked an hour and a half away from our home because he'd have to drive all the way out in the desert to go to this prison called the High Desert or High State Prison, High Desert State Prison.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a different
high
world, mate.
desert
In
state.
England, we fucking complain about a 20-minute
Yeah,
journey
right.
to work.
Yeah.
right.
So
prison.
so-
yeah.
So we would be upstairs in our room. This house was a 4-story house. The stair set was condensed. So like, you'd go down the steps, take a quick left, there's the other steps, then you take a right, there's more steps. And it was like, all condensed in the same. Now these steps weren't those newer wood steps that were, solid and no creak steps. These steps actually would creak a lot. And you can tell when somebody's walking up and down those steps. Now we had a door at the second steps, which would, you walk down and that would go into the garage where my dad would usually come into the garage and, come inside, walk up those steps, and we'd know he's home.
Yeah.
And we'd always run downstairs and be excited because he's home.
Hmm.
Now, we were at home and we would hear these steps walking up and down the stairs. And I was like, what is going on? Even at one point, we heard that door that would lead into the garage. We'd hear that door open and it closed. And I was like, okay, Dad's home. So we ran downstairs to find out, what's for dinner, Dad? How was work? We go downstairs and nobody's there. And I was like, that's weird. So, we start walking back upstairs and we hear it again, literally right behind us on those stairs. So we turn around, look around that corner, and River's like, that is so weird, dude. I don't know what's going on. And so River decides to close that top door that was leading to those steps that we keep hearing the noise.
Yeah.
Now, as we were going upstairs, not even making it to our room, we hear running up those stairs.
Oh no,
we
mate!
hear-
Oh, mate.
dude,
I ain't
we
having
hear
that
a
shit, mate.
loud we hear
I
a
couldn't-
loud bang on that hollow core door that's closing that between us and the stairs. A loud bang. We freaked out. And what's crazy is we had sensors in every corner of the rooms and throughout the whole house. And that sensor, it had beeped red where those stairs are. The
Wow.
door was fucking closed, dude.
Wow.
Nobody had come into the house. And that is why we had called the police, called our dad, said, Dad, somebody broke into the house. They went over the records of our sensors, and they could only see the sensors that were going off from our stairs, our hallway, our rooms, and that stair set. Not even the garage door opener had censored or anything. It didn't
Jeez.
open or closed. Nobody was in the
Shit.
house. And
Wow.
and
The-
this would happen all the time, but this was the scariest thing that had happened to us in that house, literally right next to me and River.
Yeah, I didn't sleep much as a kid. so-
No. Oh my god.
I don't know how you
Listen.
guys sleep now, man.
Yeah. Well,
I don't, dude. I literally sleep like
God.
maybe
Who's-
3 or 4 hours a night now. So
Oh, what? Really?
Oh,
Oh
oh
man.
my gosh, it's horrible.
man.
Who's the
Dude,
biggest
well,
pussy out of all you lot?
Yeah, I think Nick.
up.
See,
Debatable.
I'm more
That's
like
up.
I'm more like,
Highly
hey, if
debatable.
you're gonna take me, just take me, you know.
Really?
No, when I see shit, dude, I get fucking scared. Obviously, everybody knows, and everybody's like, "Oh, Ryan, you're obviously working on it." But when I feel vulnerable, like the Cobb Mansion, I'm sitting in the hallway, dude.
Mm.
Okay, if I was standing, I don't think I would have booked it. I think I would have probably stepped back. Usually, like I have been doing, is just step back and recollect myself. I was on the freaking ground, and I see steps, or I hear steps. And as soon as I entered, what is wild, and this is what I wanted to bring up, dude, there are so many times that we see with our own eyes, we'll see like a person or a shadow. And what's wild is the camera, this time, when I saw somebody in the hallway, I was like, oh, fuck, I saw somebody. Our camera had captured not what I saw.
What?
It captured maybe not even like an eighth of what I saw.
Oh,
I saw
what?
a
did see
human.
that.
I saw
I
a
did see that,
person.
man.
I'll be like,
I saw a
motherfucker, I'm
person.
gone.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
gone."
I hopped over that bed so quick, and obviously I'm gonna apologize. I apologize to the guys. I even apologize to the viewers. I'm sorry. At
Yeah,
that
you
moment,
can't help that though, mate. I'm not being
No.
funny. Like when me and Mace did our bloody investigation, we went. Oh my god! Like we didn't actually see anything, but we were both shitting it. So
You were
No,
shitting it a lot worse.
no, you
man.
were shitting it.
No, you were
No,
shitting
you were
it. You turn the light on. Turn the light on.
You both were shitting it. No, it's funny because when we first started actually filming this, man, like just the feeling that we got was just awful, man. It was literally like a roller coaster, and it's gotten a lot better now, obviously, but there still are those moments that you just feel like so uneasy about the whole thing, and you could sense something just is around you. Sometimes it's an unpleasant feeling, and sometimes it's like, not too bad. But yeah, when we first started, holy shit, dude, we were like running like crazy, screaming like little girls.
Yeah, funny enough, some of the first locations we actually investigated, like almost hands down, I want to say they're on my top like 5 out of any of the locations. Like we hit the scariest ones first, and that really
That was a
brought us
terrible
in.
idea.
No,
Yeah.
it was a terrible idea, but I think that's what gave us our experience so quick, is
Started
to
you
knowing
need to
that
go on, mate.
there is shit out there, man, and it's crazy. But
So look, here's a question from Got Bit Fever Hit. Okay, what's the scariest event they've ever witnessed that wasn't recorded?
That wasn't
shit.
recorded.
well,
Go
I
ahead.
have a.
Yeah, go ahead, Riv. You got
Oh,
one.
you want me to tell that one?
Yeah.
So going back to like how you said that, you're not like skeptic, but you're. So I was that way, and like, obviously we told you about the story when we were kids.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, like right before we moved to Washington, I worked a full-time job at a place called Patagonia, and I'd get home around like 4 or so, and I'd hit the gym for about an hour. I'd come back and I'd fall asleep to take a nap.
Getting
normally
massive,
wake up
mate.
around-
Rambo in it, like it.
Yeah, dude, I was looking good, man. Anyways,
Not like you though, Casper. You're strong, man. You are fucking ripped, bro.
You've been looking at my Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking
Before you
about.
start, before you say anything, Riv, real quick, me and Wyatt, actually I think Wyatt brought it up, and we were both looking through your shit, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm happy for you, man. Like, you are healthy as fuck, man, and I'm glad. But oh my god, you are fucking ripped, bro.
Mate, I'm so glad there's not a camera on me because I'm red right now.
Sorry, Riv.
Both your cheeks are touching either wall, man, with the head as well, mate.
Oh god. Anyway, moving on. Go on.
Anyway, so yeah, I was working this job, come back home at 4 p.m., hit the gym for an hour, take a nap until about like 10 or 11 p.m. All my lights were off in my room, and my door would be cracked, and we had like these old rustic bulbs that would kind of illuminate our living room that were over our fireplace. So they were like pretty dim. You could see a little bit out there, but not like, everything. And I remember waking up and my knees were up. And I couldn't see. I could see in my room, like all the shadows and everything. And normally when I wake up, I could see my closet because my closet doors were off, and I could see all my clothes hanging. So I went to go put my knees down, because I'm like waking up, and someone's standing at the foot of my bed, man. And
Oh, mate,
no way.
mate, I'm telling you,
no,
if
I
I ever
shit.
saw that, I'm not having it,
dude,
man.
I shit you not. I was like, holy fuck! Either I'm dreaming or some like serial killer's in my house right now, and I'm gonna die.
Was that sleep paralysis?
No, so I put my knees down. I can move. I was hesitant to move, obviously. But there was a tall, dark figure, dude. It was just a shadow, man. Like,
Oh, sorry. So
I
you
could see
weren't
it.
in bed. You saw somebody by your bed. Is it?
No. I was in bed, and
Oh,
they were
okay.
at the foot of my bed, standing there. And I could see everything, but he was so dark that I couldn't see what was behind him.
Oh,
I
man.
couldn't deal with that, mate, in the bedroom,
Dude,
waking up. Anything like
oh my
that, that'd
God.
be it.
I'd
I'd
move
never
out.
watch anything again. Or I'd never
Dude, it
watch a ghost
scarred me,
video
man.
again.
It scarred me. It legit, it scarred me, and it was really hard to sleep
What does
after
his
that.
face
But
look
okay,
like, River?
it was nothing, man.
Oh,
Literally
God.
nothing.
Did you have any
It
eyes?
was just no. It was just a
No
frickin'.
eyeballs?
It was dark. It was
No
literally.
motherfucking eyeballs.
It was darker than dark, man. Like, and
Oh.
so
Weird, isn't it, man? They say that
Yes,
about the shadow people. Like they just absorb light. It's just the
dude.
blackest black.
Yeah, it was darker than any shadow in my room. And I had
Oh.
like that barely like that little light that was illuminating from the living room barely into my room. And it was just anyway, so I discovered this person that's standing at the foot of my bed. I asked who it was, no answer. And I'm like, dude, I'm dreaming, I rubbed my eyes and he was still there.
Oh
And
God, mate, I've got
and
fucking chicken skin.
dude, chicken
Fuck.
skin's gross.
Fresh chicken skin.
All right.
It's
all right.
freaking me out, mate. Listening
So-
to it.
So, at this point I'm like, okay, something's going on. I put my knees back up so I can't see him anymore. And, I'm thinking to myself like, what the hell's going on? And I said like, who are you? Leave me alone. And I put my knees down and he was gone.
Oh
I
my
could see everything past him. And
Oh mate, the
I
relief.
will
God.
never dude, I will never ever forget that moment because
Just imagine
I
if he
thought-
spoke to you. Wake up,
dude, oh
Donnie.
my god.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Mate.
But I will never ever forget that moment, man. And
Oh, man.
even Nick, didn't you have like an experience when you were in that house or a house before? I don't remember what you.
That's I've kind of had semi a couple. I felt very, very uncomfortable in that house. And I remember Ryan, funny enough, has a story in that same house that with your story with the shadow in the room. Ryan doesn't bring that story up much though, but I just remembered that. Ryan, you used to have the room in the basement, did you not?
Yeah.
With the shadow, you saw something through a window. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
I had-
you used to have that door that had that like fogged up window, right?
Yeah, dude. Somebody would stand right behind that, and like I ended up having to put a picture over it because it would almost be every night that this person would stand there.
Oh no.
And like, and what's shitty is like I also had wood steps, and I lived in the basement, man. It basically this basement got like transferred into there was like a music recording studio in the basement also, and I guess an office that I used to live in, and on that door for some reason had a giant window so that you could see out of it.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, it's a room, and at the time I was dealing with head surgery because I have this very rare it's a bone tumor that a lot of people in Africa or India develop, and it's just like a weird growth of a bone in your head.
Really?
Anyway, so I had gotten surgery, and so I was basically recovering and recuperating down in the basement, and I'd see this person just stand there, and this would I would do the same thing as River. I'd rub my eyes and whatnot. I'd even watch this person move, and I'd even message River. Can you come down here, please? The person's standing behind the window again, and I'd hear River coming downstairs, and it would just go like it was just gone.
Mm.
And I'd even see River, and I was just like, what's going on, dude? Like what is going on with this place, or what's I don't know, man. It would never come in my room ever, which was odd. Never would come in my room.
That's crazy,
But
man.
and I even started having my door open, but that still wouldn't work because I'd still see like half, I guess you could say maybe a shoulder, like right where my door was cracked. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And what was even worse is I hung up. I didn't have any paintings, so I had found this weird painting. It didn't belong to us, but there was this also underneath area where it looked like somebody had grown like a lot of marijuana down in this section of the basement. And so I opened that, and I find this weird satanic like giant picture that was painted,
Oh,
hand
shit.
painted, very satanic, and it looked like it was a demon, and it was so odd. It was a demon with teeth and blood coming out of its mouth.
Oh.
I think I still have that photo or that picture in our storage because I ended up taking it,
Oh,
but it
what?
was so odd. Yeah, I ended up taking this painting with us.
Haunted us for life. Haunted us for
Yeah, I
life.
was just gonna
You know,
say.
I want to fucking
But-
touched it, mate.
It was well.
Oh.
That's the thing. I didn't know what to do. I could have hung a blanket over it. Yeah, but I ended up taking that picture and I hung it over the whole window. And I mean that picture was probably not a good idea to
Yeah.
use, but at the time I was struggling, man. I
Yeah.
didn't have any money for anything
Yeah.
in the blankets that I needed. I didn't want to sacrifice any of my blankets because it was so cold down in that basement, and I needed something.
Yeah.
So I ended up just using that painting. And what like gets me thinking is like, dude, I found that picture in the basement. I found that thing. What if that shadow person was what was drawn on the damn painting? Like, what if it
Yeah,
was,
Oh,
maybe.
man?
mate. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it could have been. You never
Yes.
know.
That goes
Shadow
that
people's.
goes on to a
Go on,
sorry,
Mace.
Ben, go on, mate.
Um,
Go on,
sh-
go for it, dude.
Shadow people is one thing that just scares I mean, if I saw that, mate, it would be fucking. Oh man, I just don't. I don't like the idea of seeing any type of thing like that. It would freak me out. It would really freak me out. I like May said, it would change me. It would change me for good, man.
I think like when we were out that time, Ben, if
Yeah.
we'd have seen something like that, if we'd have seen a shadow person, I think my instinct would be to chase it down and try and drop kick it in the head or something. Because I just think it was
Fucking
a
Rambo
person
it,
who
mate. That's
knew.
it, man. That's exactly what I would do. That's exactly.
But then if that happens and you go around the corner and there's no one there, you'd genuinely be, it'd make me believe. I'm a skeptic, I admit it, but I've got real interest in it.
Yeah.
But until I see something or something proper happens like that,
Well,
I think I'll always be a skeptic. But
see,
I mean,
the
I'm
thing
just
is,
interested.
you say you're a skeptic, Mace, but the thing is, we both say we're skeptics. However, like when we did our investigation, I worry about doing another one, as you do as well, don't you, Mace? You do as well, because we were
'cause
worried about shit actually happening.
I'm worried about something following me home, or I
Yeah.
start hearing footsteps at home or something afterwards and shit like that. It'd
That's,
finish me
well,
off,
then
I
you
think.
wouldn't be so skeptic, so let it
No,
happen.
yeah, I know,
This
mate.
is
That's
it.
it.
Mm.
That's it.
But Mace, could you do you want to just ask another question that we've got on
Well,
our
there
community?
was a question when you were saying about that satanic. One of the questions from Longshot was on an investigation. Have you ever encountered anything that you thought was a legit demon?
Oh, where was that? Where was that?
It's down the bottom on the list. It's probably 3/4 of the way down by Longshot.
Oh, okay.
Definitely the Clean Water Demon House, and then definitely like when I got scratched. But did you want to say something, Wyatt?
I was gonna say about the Clean Water Demon House.
Yeah.
So, hence the name. We showed up there, and immediately the first thing we come in contact with, supposedly, was a little girl, and we were questioning amongst ourselves, why in the hell is there a little girl here? And as the night progressed, unbeknownst to us until we, went home and looked through the footage, at one point in the video when we were upstairs, a black figure, probably about 3.5, maybe 4 feet tall, comes from the living room area up the stairs, round the corner of the stairs, and continues up to where I was at the top of those stairs filming down. And about probably 3 minutes later, I didn't see it with my eyes or my camera, but I felt this coldness go through me, and I got so nauseous and my hands started shaking so bad that I had to put my camera down, and we had to kind of take a break for a minute and sit there upstairs, and I had to collect myself. It felt as if something was like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like in that moment I ate some bad food and got food
It's
poisoning.
like it attached
I
to it
was
or something,
shaking.
right?
Yeah, like I was shaking and sweating and just so nauseated and getting dizzy. I had to set the camera down. We go back downstairs and keep hearing all these noises, all these things. There's objects being thrown at us. That is one other thing that we were talking about earlier, stuff that we didn't capture on camera. There's a lot there. And when we finished that investigation and left for the night, we get home and realize that half of our footage was lost.
What?
To this day,
Shit.
why, we don't know how, but we left. This is the weird part. We left in such a hurry and a panic because of the activity there. It was almost like it wanted us to come back, and we had to go back
Oh
to
god.
finish up the
Oh,
video.
mate.
Oh,
So we
mate.
go back a second time, and this time it tried River. We walk in, and River immediately starts hearing this like ringing sound in his head, and none of us can hear it. So loud, he keels over on the floor, and he's like starting to tear up in pain.
No, it
Shit.
felt like someone had shot a gun right next to my head.
Oh shit! Really?
And yeah, and I've had people say, I hear this ringing in my head sometimes, but I've had that before. I know what that feels like. I know, like, but this was something way different, man. It was like I was getting abducted or something.
Oh god, man.
Just
And
stepping foot in that building would give you so much anxiety, and just the butterflies in your stomach. You could just tell it was not a good idea to be there. It would just the
It's
same little girl would clearly come through to us. Like, I think it was legitimately a demonic presence imitating a child trying to attach itself to one of us. I think
Yeah,
if
I've
we were there
heard
any
that.
longer,
I've
we had
heard
to
that.
be.
Funny enough, you should say that about a girl being like a demon or something like that, because I read one of my comments actually, and it said there is no children spirits. They're only demons that are imitating children, because children go straight to
Yeah.
heaven or something like that.
right, some people do say that. But here's another weird thing, man. And I haven't really looked much into it. So all the windows were broken out and everything, and they were all open. But we kept hearing these noises outside, and we wanted to figure out what it was. So we looked out, like, the bottom floor was like one of the biggest windows. We looked out there, and we saw like 7 or 8 set of eyes, dude. And it turns out it was 7 or 8 deer that were just out there looking
Oh,
right into
mate,
the building.
Wow.
that's freaky
So
enough as its
let
own,
me
man.
let me tell you how this is so weird. Every time we'd go into a different room,
The window.
the deer would move to that side of the building and they would stare in.
Oh,
shit.
what?
And I
Ah.
shit you not,
That's like
man.
it's like that the film the bloody ring, isn't it? When the deer
Dude,
starts
I-
smashing
Yeah.
into the car.
I shit
Oh,
you not.
mate.
That was so like, oh my gosh, it was very, very scary because
That's weird.
you had all these deer, man. Like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
Why are they so
And-
interested?
I later had one of our viewers who's big into the spiritual side of life had later contacted us after watching that video. And when we were there, we kind of just put it off, like, that is super, super strange, but maybe it's just, curious animals
Mm.
seeing what's going on in a place that has barely any visitors.
Yeah.
And she contacts us and she writes me a message basically explaining how she thinks that land is cursed. And I forget the exact name of the entity that she used, but it's said and has been known for a long time that natural wildlife will attract to that area to, like, in a sense, try to ward off these entities
Ah,
because
okay.
they feel like their environment is being invaded, and they'll sort of protect each other, but also anything else that comes in that
That's
area, almost
proper
like
freaky, though.
a cursed, like a witchy, for lack of a better term,
Can I bring
thing
something
going
else
on
in?
there.
Yeah.
Including the deer and whatnot. There were, if you guys remember right, there were also raccoons that were
there was
they were
so
in the
much.
trees. They were literally in the trees. You saw little eyes like on the tree and whatnot, and we were able to indicate that they were raccoons and whatnot. But they were also just standing still, like just holding onto that tree and looking into the place as well. It wasn't just deer. It was also, there were raccoons. It was just all the wildlife around. They were all staring into that, literally into that building. And like River was saying, every angle that we go, say we were, on the opposite side of, the building or the house or whatnot, we'd hear the stepping and whatnot go around the house, and we look out the window and boom, all the eyes were back there again. It
Wow.
just kept
Wow.
happening.
It
That's
almost
so
almost
strange.
felt fake, dude. It
Yeah,
legit,
you
like,
couldn't
it
write that,
almost
could you?
felt. Dude, I couldn't understand it, man. It just made everything so much worse because
It's
we're
like the
already
shit you
dealing.
see in movies, man.
No,
It's
for
like they
sure.
expect
Yeah.
like birds and stuff to start banging into the bloody windows.
Yeah.
Well, on top of
You
that,
know?
a bat flew and almost knocked Ryan out.
Jesus,
Oh,
how big was the bat?
Dude,
That thing was
you wouldn't
huge.
you wouldn't believe it, but if you've
Size
seen
of a
Lord of the
It's a fucking
Rings,
Batman.
oh no,
Size of
if
a
you
person.
if you've seen like
It's Mothman.
guys, if you've seen The Hobbit, it was I shit you not as big as that dragon. I swear, in my eyes. But then again, my
Oh,
in my
God.
mind.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Hey, listen, we got
I-
a question from Matt80316, right? Do you find, well, it sort of connects to this, what you're saying, really. Do you find that things attach to you during investigations and follow you home?
We try not to, but well, so when we first started doing this, yes, like we were not as protected as we should have been. We weren't doing all the prayers that we were doing and whatnot. Um, and it just so happens that I think we did end up bringing somebody with us because once we were getting more, I guess, once we were getting more viewed and whatnot, people were starting to discover us. We would have these meetings where we'd have Nick come down here and we'd all just talk. And we used to have our meetings out in Wyatt's backyard on his deck. And he or we were talking and nobody was inside, and his closet door had swung open, and it was so weird to us.
I bet, man.
That
Yeah,
is,
But
yeah. So you
That's
actually, you reckon that something connected, like, latched onto you then?
well, I hope not, but
Mm,
just the things that were happening to us outside of investigating and whatnot,
yeah.
it felt so. It feels like that could be the case. Like this door, when you come across like a house that has a door that the carpet they didn't really put much spacing in between the bottom door
Mm,
and some carpet, so it kind of takes a
Very
little bit
hard
of
to open.
a
yeah.
tug to open that thing. Now this thing flew open, and even opening it now, it's just, you can hear it dragging on the carpet, and it's just harder to open than a normal door.
Yeah.
Now,
Takes more
if
force to
if
open, yeah.
if it's the case that something or someone is following us, that could also be why. I mean, I'm not saying every time we go to a location we catch some stuff, but
Yeah.
because we do go to locations and we get nothing. We literally get not a thing.
Yeah.
And obviously we don't post it because I'm not trying to be rude or anything. And some people do want to see, us not catch anything, but that's just not it's not entertaining. It's
No,
not
it's not.
fun.
No.
It's not proof. I mean, eventually we are going to upload those videos to different, like maybe say our Patreon or whatever,
Yeah.
and so that they can see that that we do not catch shit all the time.
Yeah.
But if it's a case that somebody is following us, I feel like maybe that person does follow us to some of these locations and starts to communicate with us like, yeah, I'm still here with you.
Mm.
So like,
yeah.
So,
I'm
so do you guys feel like, you're just talking about like different locations and not like getting anything like that, but have you guys thought about visiting other countries and expanding out? That's funny enough, that's another question from in blue 31316. So are they planning on visiting
well,
other locations?
you know what? Probably, yeah, definitely. We actually do plan on doing that. I think, um, for now, unfortunately, since the whole COVID thing is happening for now, I
No
guess
travel.
we're gonna try and stay in the US and whatnot. We do plan on, there's a family out in California that reached out to us and whatnot. I
Canada
think
as well.
we're gonna go help them out. I just need to get more information from her because she has a family, man. Like she has kids.
Yeah.
That's important to us. This whole like helping families now that we're doing is so important to us that we can actually try and get them some closure or let them know that yes, somebody is here, see if we can help in any way,
Yeah, man.
then that
They're
is very
good.
important.
Got a
Now,
good feedback from those ones, mate. And you made me bloody cry, which I'm not happy about, but
Yeah.
I made myself,
I
dude,
couldn't believe it, man. I was like, oh my gosh.
I made myself cry, literally. I watched that video when I told you, dude, when I do these videos, we put our heart and soul into
Yeah.
these, and like, that was the point. That's what
Yeah.
we were trying to put out there. We wanted people to feel emotion. I even felt emotion. I started tearing up when I watched your reaction because it is sad.
Yeah.
It's sad in the fact, and when I edit these, I want everybody to, like I said, feel what we are feeling because at that moment, dude, I was so heartbroken, dude. Like there was even a time when we parted off for a minute and I teared up, man. It's so hard, and like even though still I am still a small skeptic, I go out there and I feel so much emotion, and a lot of people are telling me, "Ryan, you're an empath, man. You're an empath." And to me, I'm an empath to where when I walk into a building, I can feel this emotion. I've felt sad. I've literally cried, man.
Mm,
And I don't mean to. I don't
no,
mean to do it.
no.
Outside of
Pick up on
outside
those
of doing this,
vibes and that.
outside of doing this, I'm a fairly tough person. I'm not emotional. I'm not, and like doing this stuff, it turned me into more of a, I guess I was able to more understand myself with emotions and whatnot, and just feeling other people's emotions, and just, it's not just sadness. There's times when I go into these buildings and whatnot, and I'm angry as shit. I just wanna beat the shit out of Nick, for no reason.
He is really hard to
Yeah,
deal
it's-
with.
Washo.
We were
Nick, how
Another
tall are
thing-
you, mate?
7-1.
I am. It is a large subject of debate. Everyone
7-1.
says a different number to the point where I barely even remember anymore. But I think I'm somewhere around 6'3", 6'4".
Okay.
Don't start, Ben. Don't start.
Oh god, Mace is like, well, no, I won't
Fuck
start.
you,
Oh god. Okay, it's
Hey,
just because you
guys,
look.
Ben is literally fucking 1 inch taller than me.
Why are you?
And then he calls me like 2'6".
Are you? No. Okay. Like, let's just
Yeah.
look at our investigation. He is clearly not. I'm clearly not 1 inch taller than him, man.
Well,
Yeah,
how
but
tall
you
are
got
you
them
guys?
fluffy boots on, man. Them fluffy
Fuck.
boots that you wear. Had about
F
2
you,
inches,
mate.
man.
F you. Right, moving on. Yeah, have you got a question you want to ask? Go on.
Guys, how tall are you guys? I just want to know.
I'm 5'9", I think.
I'm
So we're the-
5'7".
You ain't
Yeah, we're the same.
5'7", mate.
Oh, mate, get a tape measure. I'll get my wife to get a tape measure right now.
That's
I'm
not one of those
5'7".
tape measures you find in crackers, Christmas crackers.
What's funny, guys, is I am the same height as you, Casper, and River's actually 5'10", so he's an inch taller than me, which is kind of weird. We're twins, man. We're actually identical. The only way that you can't necessarily tell is because obviously I have a little bit more weight on me than River, and I have more tattoos that kind of
right.
hide that factor. I
So you're
guess you could
identical.
say.
Yeah, it makes him look taller from all of his tattoos.
No. Just taller.
He does vertical lines in his tattoos as much as he can to make himself look taller.
Yeah, it tricks the eyes.
One more thing before we
Oh,
do
maybe I
continue.
could do that.
I mean, that might work, man.
Casper, one more thing before we do continue, travel wise and whatnot. Once this clears up, and actually we are waiting for you to give us the word when you feel comfortable, because we do want to go and do an investigation with you, and we are, willing to travel and whatnot. Another,
Oh,
we'd
mate.
love to do and
That
Mace
would
could,
be
And
amazing,
Mace,
man.
and Mace.
you guys
that'd
could
be
come
cool.
with us. It would be
I'd
very,
be
very
hiding
fun.
behind Nick, mate.
If you can,
Big fella.
if you can even get me there,
Yeah.
you'll have to. If you can even
No,
get
we'd
me
have-
there, you'll have to knock me out. I'm so scared of planes, dude. Oh my god.
We'd
Oh,
have
Really?
a great time, honestly. We'd have a lot of
Oh
fun.
mate,
dude. Like,
the thing is, I don't want to wreck your high quality professional video by me going, motherfucker, I'm gone.
No,
you know, am I
won't.
swearing
No,
left, right, center, willy nilly? You know.
You'd be
You won't.
fine. You'd be fine.
Oh,
no, yeah,
mate.
would-
you'd be fine.
It would be amazing, mate. It would be amazing. There's a couple of places where we live
But-
that, like Bodmin Jail's a big one.
Yeah,
Bodmin
mate.
Jail's pretty
Bodmin
haunted,
Jail's got
man.
so much history to it, mate. I mean, you should,
Yeah.
if you guys were contemplating coming to the UK, just Google Bodmin Jail. It's
Well,
on another level, man. But
the other
obviously,
thing-
offline we spoke about the one place that you wanted. You said for me to come and do a video with you is was it what was it?
Carmel, Maine.
Carmel, Maine.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Fuck that, mate.
What with
No,
shadow
how
people?
about-
Out of all of
I'd
the
love to.
ones, Ryan, that you could suggest, that one with shadow
Yeah.
people jumping out from fucking windows and shit.
Oh, dude, if we're doing a
Oh.
video together, we gotta go in with a big bang,
Oh yeah,
man. We gotta
It
do
has-
this
It
tough.
has to be like one of the most haunted places, and I mean maybe then
I
any
got
skepticism is gonna be
I
gone.
got one that's actually doable. How about Waverly Hills, my dream location?
Waverly Hills.
Waverly
Waverly
Hills.
Nah.
I've seen that
Hills.
one.
Nah.
Waverly Hills is the single most famous asylum. It was used in almost all asylum movies, and it's giant. It's like
Oh,
10
mate.
stories. huge property, super, super famous and super haunted. It was like a tuberculosis back in the day when people had like illnesses, they just put them in an asylum.
Hmm.
Even
And
if
Have
they,
you guys done a video there already, or not?
oh no,
No.
No.
It's
I would love
$500
to.
to investigate though for the whole night.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's 100 per person.
Yeah.
Oh, is right. Okay.
600.
That would be
We
good
got
fun
this.
though.
Oh yeah, man. It would be, wouldn't it? It'd be bloody
Oh
brilliant.
mate, can you imagine actually going to a legit place like that where there's been loads of stuff?
Yeah, man. I'll
happen?
just fucking
I
ramble.
would-
I'll just go. I'll kick the door down. I'll be
Yeah.
like, "Yo, sup? Bring
You
it."
know what
And
I've been
We just ordered like a ton more gear too. So
I was gonna.
Well,
I'm
okay,
glad you
fine.
mentioned that because Mace has got some questions about the bloody technology. Because like me and the technology, like I look at something, I say that's a camera, that's a microphone. Mace is like, yeah, that's an X204 103 with the Sony, mate. He goes on. He goes on a different level. So like, what sort of gear of? Well, you got. Go on, Mace. You sort of tell him about your
What I'm
your
interested
equipment.
in is that SLS camera, mate. That SLS camera you've got with the iPad attached to it.
Okay, so
I
that
don't know much about
that
that.
It's an Xbox
that
One.
is basically so that is basically a connect to an Xbox. So I guess it's been used for years, ever since the Xbox 360 came out, because that's when they first came out with the Connect or whatever. Now this one's basically modified and more upgraded with the newer parts. Unfortunately, we haven't been using it because when we were doing an investigation, actually one of the places that we didn't catch shit at, we were using it, and when we were packing our stuff up, one of the cords had snapped, and so I just ordered a new one so that we can continue using that, because what we've been using, the other SLS, that I don't feel like it's genuine in some parts, I think, but I just don't feel like it is
This is as
better than
legit,
what we
yeah.
have.
Right.
What we have is just like probably the best thing that we've got. There was one episode where I had asked a spirit at the Silver Queen Hotel. I asked that spirit who was sitting in the chair behind Nick if they can wave to us, and this spirit waved
I
perfectly,
remember that.
put
I
its arm
remember
back
seeing that.
down. Yeah, and then it waves again after I asked again. And I'm asking with this SLS that we're using right now, and I'm like, can you wave to us? This thing's not doing anything. I don't know if it's mapping out right with spirits or whatnot. I just don't feel like it's the right thing. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not making me feel
It's
confident.
probably not got the same range on your phone if it's
Yeah.
got a LiDAR sensor on the back. It's probably not got the same range as an SLS.
Exactly.
The SLS is shooting against the whole bloody walls and that in it. So,
right,
but yeah,
Now, another
didn't-
thing
sorry,
involving
mate.
another thing involving devices and whatnot, what River's saying is we are ordering more. Now, I've been always like kind of a little, I guess, electric tech nerd, and so I ordered some stuff so that I can build my own devices because,
Oh, I like
you
you
know,
even more now.
I do like the fact that we can buy some devices and whatnot, and
I
I
like
do like
electrical
that.
stuff too.
Well, River does too, yeah. There's something about modeling our own devices, and eventually, once I get the hang of it and once I get it correct, then I think we are going to actually be selling our own personal devices to people and whatnot. But I'm not going to be charging people out the ass for this shit. That it's so ridiculous how
We're
you
tired
get.
of we're tired of paying for these
No, man, it's
things
just
that
it's
are supposed to
ridiculous.
work and they either don't work or they're just garbage.
It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and then
exactly.
when you try to contact them, they never contact you ever again.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we actually tried to get some sponsorship deals from these ghost websites, and we're doing really good and could really help their business, but they turned us down with no shot, man.
Well, they
Literally.
didn't even find out who we were. They didn't even have or give us the
Nah,
time of
that's
day to look up who
Yeah.
we were.
more fool them, mate. You know,
Yeah. So
Starts to look-
I
kick in their face. Sorry, Ben, innit? A kick in their face with them making their own bloody stuff. I hope it sells shitloads, mate.
yeah.
Ends up being the most, most wanted paranormal investigation equipment out there.
I'll send you guys some
Was-
too.
As
Oh,
long
yeah.
as it
Oh,
just
nice. Yeah.
works,
So, what cameras do you use then? Because your camera quality, I mean, the footage is fantastic. Hello.
Riv?
Sorry.
You're right.
I'm currently using a Sony A7R Mark II, and the thing is great. I mean, I went from a Canon G7X Mark II, which was like, everything was auto, all the settings were just set up super easily, to the Sony, because every time I watch any like these movies that were shot by Sony, I'm just mind blown.
The low
Just
light on the Sony's amazing as well.
oh
Isn't it?
my, yeah, and just everything really. Obviously it's not the newest model, but it was
No.
also like pretty penny. So
Yeah, they're a lot of dollar, mate. They're a lot of
yeah,
dollar.
yeah. So
I-
the quality changed a lot. We went from like barely 1080p with this Canon G7X to this high 4K with the Sony, and I just adjusted a few settings here and there, and just the quality in general, it's just crazy now.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Well, sorry to go geek squad on you, but do you use the proxies? Do you record proxies at the same time and use those, or because I don't? The Sony cameras are capable of that as well, aren't they?
We don't, but I believe they are, yeah.
Yeah, it
Um,
is quite a handy little tip, mate. If you're shooting in 4K, you can actually save the proxies at the same time, so you don't have to convert all your footage to proxies if you want to. Because if you guys are doing long edits, you must have a pretty beefy computer if you're editing all these in 4K.
yeah, Ryan did get the new MacBook Pro.
Oh, sweet, man.
Because he was editing on like a 2014 MacBook, and as soon
Yeah.
as we switched over to this 4K, his thing just took a dump.
It's just a good dump.
Oh my, dude, it was bad.
Uh,
He would literally have to wait like 5 minutes in between every cut, so it would take his job
oh
like,
wow.
oh my, dude, it was awful, man. And I'd be in my room and I'd hear him just cursing up a storm because he was just so upset. And then one day I was like, let's go to Best Buy, man. Let's go and get ourselves a new computer for you.
So
Yeah,
while you're behind this camera, River, like from what I notice when I'm like looking through a camera lens, in a way it sort of takes you somewhat out of the surroundings that you're in. Do you know what I mean? You're seeing it almost through a lens, so it seems a little
No.
bit more detached from your environment. Do you find that?
And that's exactly how I look at my paranormal experience. I am looking through a lens, and I'm trying to make sure that I catch every angle, every reaction possible.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, you wouldn't have that. Oh, sorry, I can't think.
Because Wyatt, you've also got the camera on you as well, haven't you?
I do, yeah. I have the Sony AX53, the night vision.
We just picked that up, by the way. Actually,
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you find it then when you're recording? Do you find it somewhat takes the edge off of it sometimes when you're looking through the camera lens?
I mean, there are moments like that, yeah, where when energy's pretty high and the anxiety's going up, you can
Yeah.
kind of more focus on filming and use it as a way to distract yourself and disconnect from all that. But it is almost inevitable, even though we do view these places mostly through our screens, that there's things that happen that just suck you right back into it. And it's not all, like you don't feel as if you weren't there and you just filmed and
See,
experienced.
I feel like it is a little different for me because since I am the main cam,
yeah, he does it a lot more.
Right.
I move around a lot, and it is hard to catch like everyone's genuine expressions or experience that they're going through at the moment. But my mind is just so focused on wanting to do the best, wanting to be the best. And sometimes I do miss, the noises or just that genuine experience that everyone else is going through.
Yeah.
like
But-
on
Well, you've
the
got
other end of
you've
the
got three
spectrum,
people to try to focus on. You can't do it all. I
Right.
think you do
Well,
a great job, mate. You do a
And
great
on
job.
top of that, any spirit that's around, or any device, I got to make sure that I have that camera angle at the perfect spot. But I do still get that vibe, the ghost hunting vibe. But it's also hard to pass over the camera to someone else because when they have that camera in their hands, I'm thinking, oh, are they catching what I'm thinking
Yeah.
about right now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
But make
just
sure you get a
that
camera
impulsive-
angle. That's a good camera angle. Get that one. Yeah. Down a bit.
Yeah,
Down a
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Exactly on that note, actually, when I get the camera at Washoe Club, I felt like I did well because I've only ever had the camera maybe twice or 3 times because
Okay.
Rivers has been like, "Oh no, you don't get to film." No, he doesn't actually. But pretty much when I have the camera, since typically like I don't know what you'd call me, I use like hand devices and like hands-on devices
Right.
with Ryan, like co-hosty type. So I'm
Mhm.
always like there trying to be quiet and listen and really gauge how I feel and pay attention to things.
Mm.
When you give someone like me a camera who doesn't typically film, it's the other side of things. I'm not paying attention as much as I should to the screen.
Mm.
And it's something I don't even realize because before I've like really tried to focus in on what's going on around me.
Mm.
And I've like looked down at the camera and I'd be like, oh my God, shit.
Yeah,
the thing's
he's
crooked."
pointing it at the floor or something, you know?
Yeah.
The thing's crooked, like-
You end up looking at things through your normal eyes instead of through the camera lens. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I hyper focus actually what's around me
Mm.
instead of the actual camera. And I almost learned that from concerts, to be perfectly honest, because if you're sitting there on your phone like trying to record a live show or whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
you have to take away from the phone because you're not actually being there, It's kind of the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Nick, like you just said, you're sort of like the co-host type thing. Yeah. Are you?
Semi.
Are you and Ryan sort of like have you always been comfortable in front of the camera? Are you two sort of like, no, I mean, River, Wyatt, would you like to be more on the camera than
We used to harass them a lot. Wyatt used to be like in some of the earlier videos before he picked up a camera. He used to be like the third person in front of the camera, so it was just like River alone in the back filming.
Yeah.
And
Bless him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bless.
I always forget
bless
about the
him, man.
cameramen, don't they? Eh?
No,
Yeah, pretty much.
When we did our vlog channel, I was on camera all the time, man. Like it was me and Ryan.
Oh, okay.
And I had no problem.
That's originally how we thought it was going to be too.
Right.
Like with this channel.
But it's really hard to when I had the G7X, the Canon camera, it's such a portable small camera, and the screen flips back so that you could see what you're shooting, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
it was
the
just
only shit with the Sonys, man.
Right. Well, actually, the new one, you
Yeah.
can actually flip the screen.
Yeah.
But this kind of work, you're not really focused on filming yourself with the camera, because unless you're like Wyatt, he's holding a night vision camera and he's filming like down the hall behind him, and his like face is kind of in the corner of the camera. That makes a good feeling for people, because they're like, what if you see something behind him? Like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
I
But
need a new pair of pants.
but with this high end camera, it's just not worth it, man. You think about it, and it shouldn't even be part of like what you should be doing. You shouldn't be filming yourself with the camera because you're solely focused on other things.
Yeah.
But I have no problem being on camera. Once again, my mind just goes insane. As soon as someone else picks up the camera, I'm like, shit,
It's my
like,
baby.
I'm not catching this, man.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they could drop the damn thing and I wouldn't care, but it's like I just want those angles, man. And it's like I'm so passionate about it. And I'm the one that sat on this camera for hours and hours to try to figure out what's gonna be the best quality photo or video that comes out and still has that weird like depth of field to it.
Yeah. Yeah. For
And
sure.
so I'm just, that's where I'm at with it. Now that Wyatt has this new night vision camera, it captures so much more. So he is able to get my reactions or other things when he's not, fucking around putting it up at my face close.
Or you ripping
But-
ass.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
let's
so
not
about-
go.
Funny,
let's not go
funny you
down
should say that,
route.
because there is a question. Yeah. I've got a question
Oh,
actually.
boy.
What is
Yeah.
it? Where is it now? Have you got it? Can you
It
find it,
was
mate?
Hold on, mate. Yeah, I had it a minute ago. Sorry, dude.
I've got Oh man. Oh, it's gone. I think. It's gone.
Yeah, I was struggling to find it. Just
Yeah.
talk about something else for a minute.
Okay. Here's one then from Las Playas. What was your first paranormal experience? I suppose we've spoken to Ryan and River about that, but what about Nick and Wyatt? What about your first paranormal experience?
Uh, I guess I could go first. So it I have two stories and they're both fairly good. Um, Ever since I was really young, my mom has, for many, many, many years before that, been really into spiritualism and just like crystals and energy, just
Mm.
anything like metaphysical in a way. And she's
Yeah.
really serious about it and like ghosts and whatnot. Like she believes in everything. And she's like taught me a lot of what I know and like how to feel things and like how to know things, you know?
Mm.
Well, I'll start with the earliest story. The earliest story that I can remember, now that I think of it, I have a couple more. I have one that I don't remember, but I was told to me of something I did. Actually, yeah, I'll say that one.
Okay.
So sorry, I'm all over the place.
That's all right.
When I was very young, you know how kids sometimes have weird things they do and it just doesn't make sense because they're like seeing a spirit and they'll never remember it for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
When I was maybe about 5 or something, I was a very mean child, so I was told. I
Really?
used to like I used to scream. I used to like hit things like the wall and like try to like attack people. Like I was really violent and I don't know why. And for whatever reason one day my mom was like really sad about it and she hears me like just laughing from the other room. And she goes over to me and it's like I'm hysterically laughing and I'm just rolling on the ground. She comes up to me and asks what's going on. And I said that man tickled me. And she said, What? Who? Is it Opa, which is grandfather in German?" And
Yeah.
I said, I got mad at this and I said, "No, it was a man in long robes and he came down and tickled me because I was upset." And also there was a time when she asked me, "Why are you so like mean to me?" Like just curiously asking.
Yeah.
And I said, "It's because you died and left me last time you were here."
What?
Oh, mate.
Another one, a couple years
What the?
later, I was
Whoa, hang on!
maybe.
You can't just say that shit and move on.
The
The
only
fuck?
reason I continue on is
What the shit? It's
I
because
do
you
not
died
remember
and
this.
left me here last time. Is that...
Yeah, she
Like some
she swears
reincarnation?
up and down. Yeah, she swears up and down. This is exactly, and she's told this story hundreds of times, never changed it once.
Wow.
I don't remember this at all. I just remember being told it, and it's really, really strange to me. Like I'm blown away that I could have like said or done something like that, and I've tried hard to remember and think
Yeah.
of it. And maybe I'm just remembering dreams, but like sometimes I'll like catch a glimpse of like somewhere I don't recognize but is familiar to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my
Really
God.
strange.
It's so much more scary for me when children or kids are involved or kids say something.
Yeah,
It
because
just
then
make
they're,
yeah, you just like
they're not lying, are they? Clearly, it's
no.
just like
It's
you
like
know.
that Kent family one you did with the little girl in the little girl is seeing her gran and it just
Oh mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
What
And
about
I found
what
that
about you? What?
question, Ben.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go
It
on then. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the question was from Shoda02. Ever been spooked by self-generated bodily wind before?
Once or twice.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with River, mate.
We always screw around with that. Like, sometimes one of the guys will choose a little bit of a bad dinner for the night. And I'm like, God, dude, you guys, like, we need to fucking, all right, let's eat this shit and get on with it, And
For me, it's Taco Bell, man. It's easy, fast, and it has because I actually don't eat meat, and so just getting like a bean and cheese burrito. I don't know, man. Wrong decisions, obviously.
Beans, mate. It's the beans.
Dude. And Ryan, of course, had to put me on blast this last bloopers, man. And I'm like, man, it's
It's
horrible.
funny, mate.
hey,
I
dude,
like
horrible.
Here's
I
a
saw-
question. Here's a quick question from Gladiator. Do the twins and the rest of the crew sage themselves and the place after or before they leave the haunted location? And do they believe in saging might help to protect themselves from spirits attaching themselves to them? So
Now,
basically, do you sage yourself and the location?
we've thought about it, but for the answer, if we sage like the place before we leave and whatnot? No, because that's actually pretty disrespectful towards the family members who might own the place or building or whatever. Dude, have you smelt burning sage? It is so. It's. I'm not gonna lie. It's very, very overbearing
Is
to
it?
me. It's very overbearing, especially if you do it inside of somebody's home, that it'll stay for hours, and it's not the smell that you want. And for saging ourselves, we've thought about it, but there are so many other ways that you can, stay safe. Like we each wear necklaces that are safe with us, that are, that were given to us and blessed. And also we do say prayers from time to time when we feel like it is necessary. So other than that, like sage, maybe we'll use it one time and give it a shot, but we already kind of know
There
how sage ends up and how it, turns
There
out.
also has to be intent and meaning and like purpose. There's a lot that goes into sage. It's not a cure all that you can just light and be done with it and it cleanses the spirits. No, it's nothing like that.
Right.
It can
Okay.
also, if you don't have a meaning or a point to using it and know what you're doing, you can also agitate or irritate something there. Like there's instances where you can really probably piss something off
Right.
if
That's
maybe
what had happened to me and Ben on the next one. We'd think we're doing ourselves a favour with the sage, and
Yeah.
well, it
And-
could.
end up rolling
And,
the car on the
you
fucking
get-
drive home or something.
another thing is going into these places, if you're dealing with negative energy and like something that's like really, really heavy, going into the place knowing that, hey, nothing's gonna follow me, like I'm gonna put this energy out. You don't even have to say it out loud, just think about it. But if we deal with something super crazy like the demon house, we always say before we leave, you're not welcome to follow us home.
Yeah.
Nice.
And just something like
Why
that.
do you
like,
think
if
that
you meet it-
works? Like, if I was a ghost and someone said that to me, I'd be like, "Fuck you, man! I'm gonna follow you home."
It's like I said, it's all in the way that you feel. Like if you strongly feel like you're not following me, I'm not gonna give you like
Permission. Like.
just my permission or anything like that to come home with me. We feel that it works. I mean, a lot of people have actually told us to say this because a lot of people have used this tactic and they've been okay.
Yeah.
On top of that, like Ryan said, we do have these necklaces that have our protection. Just other things like that,
You can only do what you presume is the right thing, isn't it? There's no right or wrong thing anywhere, really. I mean, I think that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like there's some, like about priests and stuff that know exactly what to do, what not to do, and all this sort of stuff. But I think for the average Joe, and obviously you guys aren't the average Joes. You've done your research and things like that. But for me and Mace going out, we would be doing exactly that. We'd be like, I hear we should say goodbye come the end of like, we should probably do that sort of thing,
Yeah. Someone said that after the last time we went out, didn't they, Ben? We didn't say goodbye and all that, but I think we did say bye before we walked out. But
yeah, we said thanks, didn't we? And we did
Yeah.
say bye. We did say bye. Yeah.
Can I ask one question,
Go
guys?
for it.
I've never seen in one of your videos. There's one thing that I'll never ever do, and I know there's one thing that Ben will never even touch.
I know what you're
I
gonna
don't know if
say.
you guys have Ouija boards. What?
No,
No,
Well-
you guys stay well away from the Ouija boards,
Fuck
or have you
mate.
ever?
I
done
do.
them, or-
We haven't messed
I
with
do.
one. I've always wanted to give it a shot, but
Great question.
it's
man.
Fuck
been
that, mate.
it's been a talk amongst the guys, and they're not comfortable with it or anything like that, and I respect it personally. It's like if you don't want to do it, let's not do it. And
So
just move on.
you're like you would be up for it, right, River?
I just want to give it a shot, But if it
Mm.
is like a Ouija board, it has to be like an old, really old Ouija board that's like falling apart, or something like really nice. Because
Yeah.
these newer Ouija boards and all that stuff, it's like these companies put these things together and just throw them out like cake, man. And it's
Yeah,
like,
man, you can buy them in bloody toy shops and stuff.
Well,
Can't you? It's
yeah.
just a joke.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, there could be nothing like to it. There could be no spirit that's like really attached to it or anything like that, and you just never really know. You could have a person in the group that has their fingers on the what is planchette or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has their fingers on it, and they could be moving it themselves. And it's
That's
just
it. You need 100% trust in who you're doing it with as well. That's the other side of it,
right. So it's like me personally, I'm not like 100% against them. I've always wanted to give it a shot and just throw it behind my bucket list and say, okay, I did it.
They scare the shit out of me, mate. They absolutely. I'd be
Yeah.
so petrified of pulling a demon in and then getting possessed. That's what scares me. Being
Right.
possessed or
I see.
you know,
I don't. I don't think. I'm not. I'm not fully. I don't know about this, like, possession thing. I don't. I'm not entirely convinced about possessions. I think
It's
that
like-
a lot of that can be. I mean, I'm not ruling it out 100%. All I'm saying is that I think that sometimes people can be so
Over dramatic.
well, not so much over dramatic. I think somebody can believe in something so much that it can actually
Right.
have a physical reaction to them, where they
Like
believe.
kind of like
Absolutely.
a manifest. Like you're manifesting something so hard that's like going on with you physically or mentally or anything
Yeah.
like that, and it really takes a toll and kind of creates this like persona in a way, or however you want to say it.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
these people that claim to be possessed or whatever. What does Pan do, guys? He
Pan's a
is
psychic.
he's
He's
a
a
psych
psychic, and he
and
does yeah, he does exorcisms.
yeah, exorcism. So we just went and tried to do a location at a friend's like warehouse. It was like an art studio, and they have claimed that they have spirits there, or a spirit that they kind of have manifest because they're artists, and they sometimes do these shows where they dress up as a character and they get so deep into this character that what is it called, boys? What is that specific spirit called?
Dolma, I think.
So what we figured is that these are called dolmas,
Right.
and basically you manifest this character as you play this character, and they come out, and as soon as you're done, you shut it down, and these characters still stay present amongst the people, but they are a spirit, or say.
It's
Um,
basically not a spirit, but a source of energy that basically, I guess you can say, turns into some type of ghost that is formed
Right.
by another person's um, just their energy and how much they put through, as in what type of character they had become.
no way.
So-
That sounds insane.
So outside of that, so our friend does these exorcisms. So that night that we actually went there, he left in a hurry because his master, he calls him, who has taught him how to do all these things, called him out to a quick run, and he comes back a few hours later, and he is a different person, dude.
He was
Like,
so different.
it,
Like,
it was
Yeah.
it was the weirdest thing that we've ever seen, because he came back, and we've known this guy for quite a long time. He actually was our teacher at one point. He came back, and we tried to ask him questions about it, and he was just, dude, like I've never ever seen him like that ever. And he
Really?
doesn't do drugs or anything,
No
and
way, man.
he was just a different person. And what he had gone to do is he went and exorcised a woman in this chambers or something, in like some sort of chambers, and he it was just really weird. Like the energy that came off of him and everything was so bizarre.
Mm.
Um,
Wow. That
So
is.
Also,
we
like
actually-
you reckon he's like done an exorcism and it had changed him in some way, or something had latched onto him, or
maybe because so he got back, and we were waiting to do an interview because I had all my stuff set up, and he sits there and he's doing the interview, and it's the weirdest interview ever, dude. And we
Oh,
have
really?
it, and
oh, that'd freak me out, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
real
and
like
we-
real monotone type, is it? Sort of.
oh, dude, he was gone. Like his soul was like
Oh.
sucked out of his body, man.
Oh,
It was
God.
like the weirdest feeling to even be around him. Just looking at his eyes or anything like that, it's just like he was gone.
Yeah,
literally,
because
like,
I can pick.
you-
I can pick up on. I think, to be fair, maybe a lot of people can, but I do know what you mean when you sometimes you speak to somebody and you can just pick up, like, this is not a good person. This is not a nice person. You know,
Right.
it's either something they are genuinely just not a nice person, or something's happened to them like a while ago that has just made them like this.
But
You
the
know?
crazy thing is like he let us in to this art studio,
Hmm.
and he was normal. He was
Yeah.
the same old Pan that we knew for for years, you know,
Earlier in
chatting it
that
up,
day, yeah.
laughing and all that stuff until he got called out to do that. He comes back and he's a total different person.
Oh my
That's
god,
mental.
that's crazy.
Have you
man.
have you guys seen him again since?
No, we've talked to him. Apparently he slept for like 2 days or something after that.
Holy shit!
Oh
man.
shit. My god.
Yeah.
So that brings
Yeah.
me on to another question. What is the most scariest paranormal event that's ever happened?
To us personally?
Yeah. Like, what is the most scariest paranormal event, either recording on or off camera, that you guys have experienced that, you know, which you could
I
say
mean,
top
so-
one?
For my top, obviously it's getting scratched because like
Oh shit,
the
I
feeling,
remember that.
the
Yeah,
feeling
that was a
and
first.
let me tell you, okay, I don't have nails. I don't.
Yeah.
I get really anxious and nervous, and I have anxiety a lot, and I bite my nails. Unfortunately, it's the worst thing ever, and I do it to the point where I don't have nails in it, and I can't scratch anything, or I maybe would have to really try. But I'm holding this camera, and all these events start happening. We hear what scratch at one point, and then we hear like all these things, and I'm
Well, like you
holding.
said, Casper, like it was trying to warn us, but we weren't catching it in that moment.
Yeah. By the way, this question that was from Victoria. I have to say, it's Victoria Neverland. That was her question. What is the most evil and terrifying paranormal account you've ever had?
Can I ask a question, guys? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No,
go
on,
ahead,
yeah,
review. Sorry, mate. Go ahead.
I'm
Go on.
almost done. I'm almost done.
Go for it, dude.
So as I'm holding the camera, you know, I'm trying to like get everywhere and film all this, but all of a sudden I started feeling very weird. My body kind of started to shake. I started to like sweat super heavy, almost like I was having a panic attack. And sorry, and out of nowhere, I just felt this pain on my side. You know, like someone had like gut checked me or something. You know. And I pulled up my shirt, and I couldn't believe my eyes, guys. I legit could not believe my eyes.
So did it feel
And-
like a scratch, or did it feel like an impact, or what?
like a burning sensation, like
Oh,
someone
what?
had. Have you ever had like a chemical burn?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's like really hot, and it burns, and it feels like an acid or something.
Oh god.
That's what it felt like.
But did
Wouldn't
you
that
feel
be
like
a-
someone was actually scratching you from the outside of your skin, or did it feel like it was just like a pain just
It
all over
it
all
was
at
like
once?
it was instantaneous. Like it
No
happened.
way,
I
man.
looked. I saw it. I started shaking like crazy.
I'd stop after
I-
that. I'd just
Yeah.
stop after that. I would never ever do another ghost
We-
hunt again. I'd be like, that's it. If they can hurt me, mate, I'm out.
We-
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
we were
definitely,
like
mate.
joking about that, second guessing ourselves, and I remember when that happened, we all pretty much hit the panic switch, and I think we like yelled and like freaked
heard
out. And I
Ryan, right.
immediately,
Yeah.
Well, and you can see.
Ryan was like,
Ryan's
no,
genuine reaction.
no.
I
No, you can
immediately
like you
grabbed
could
the
feel
camera
it.
too.
You could feel his genuine reaction, man.
I'm a
He was like,
badass.
He was like, dude, do we need to leave? Because like I was shaking so bad that like I couldn't hold the camera. I couldn't breathe. Like
I was shaking too. When
I
I
just-
grabbed the camera, I couldn't. I was looking at the camera trying to get the shot, and the shot was still terrible because of how bad I was shaking, and I was
Yeah.
just. It was horrible.
Can I share my input about this?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Um,
do it, man.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think this is?
F you, Nick.
Well-
what is this?
You
a
wanna hear
podcast or
Ryan?
something?
Just remember, Nick, I am gonna come and see you tonight, and I will not hesitate to whoop your ass, boy.
Hey,
Kick
you
his
know,
ass,
for your,
Seabass.
for your punishment, Nick, I'm not gonna film you at all tonight.
Not normally either.
Anyways,
Oh, here we go.
so guys, do you guys remember what word that was said before all of this had happened? It was literally right before our camera had fallen down, River had gotten scratched and whatnot. What word
Yeah.
was that?
Bodies.
Scratch,
Wait,
No, the one that was written on the wall, right?
it was written on the wall.
Get out.
Get out, yeah.
Was
Oh,
it
yeah.
get out?
No, what was it, man?
It
was
was-
it
it
hell
was-
or something?
It was a specific word that was it was probably one of the weirdest fucking things that had happened because
Yeah.
our device had said that word,
It did.
and for
It was
some
get out.
reason my eyes had panned to the wall, and
Didn't
I
it
was
say
like,
scratch? I thought, didn't it say
no,
scratch?
no.
I don't know. What?
The
Well,
device said get out, and I remember yelling, saying, "Look at the sign," because it said get out as well.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
in this
yeah,
little
yeah, yeah. That's
corner of
right.
the
It said
wall.
get out. Yeah, the device had said get out, and then I had. Wait a minute. I fucking saw that word just a second ago. I
Hmm.
look at the wall and I see get out, and I swear to you guys, I seen something out of that mirror, that reflection of the mirror, and this all happened at once. River starts feeling that sensation, but before our device had said get out, we heard footsteps on the other side of the room. So I'm thinking, so this spirit or this demon or whatever it was had gone, entered through that other side where we heard that those footsteps. The device had said get out. We had noticed that the sign had said get out as well. River had, so I'm thinking that this spirit had passed River, grabbed onto grabbed onto him, or scratched him or whatever, and then exited right where the stairs were, where our camera had fallen on the ground.
Yeah, I
It got
remember that.
knocked
Yeah,
down. It
your
That
GoPro,
legit got
wasn't it?
knocked up.
The GoPro.
I
Yeah.
it's just, it was
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
so odd. And obviously, right, no cuts or anything. River had made it the point, which I'm very happy that he did that, because at my moment I'm so fucking confused on what happened and freaking out. I'm like, dude, we didn't do anything wrong. This is just unbelievable. I don't know what to do. But
Mm.
River went ahead and he started filming the camera because we want to prove the fact there was no fucking strings, dude.
Yeah.
We are not making this shit up. We would never do that. And I just don't want anybody to think, that whole thing was played off.
Mm.
It wasn't, dude. It was
No,
probably
that
one of the
was
scariest.
legit.
I
Yeah,
almost quit after that, man.
one of
Really?
the
I swear to
scariest,
God, I
most
almost did.
real,
That's
one of the
it, mate.
scariest, most real moments, and it was like the whole like, I feel like maybe we should stop kind of moment.
Yeah.
We all
Well, yeah,
kind of
because
talked
somebody's
about
getting
that.
hurt. Then that it makes
And
it so much more real, mate. When shit's happening, physical shit. It must be
Mm.
like if something got thrown at you, or a knife came off the kitchen side and you dodged the bloody knife as it was flying. Or that'd be it for me. I'd be gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Hey, Mace, have you got
Brave
any?
guys.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Just one question that I want to ask, mate. I just want to know what's coming next. What's your plans next? Like what do you see yourself doing like a year down the line? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
I personally, me and River have always wanted to help families. Now, we never thought that, it would be involving paranormal stuff and whatnot, helping them out by that. But when I see these gooey, gushy videos where people are, helping out, like, people that are homeless, and they mean it. Like, I like the ones that they mean it.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. You can
Um,
see
yeah.
that with your Kent one, mate. You made Ben cry, so you can see that you
I
guys
had something in my
yeah,
eye.
that's-
I had something in my eye. It just.
that's
You
that's
need to
what
vacuum that room.
when you mean, like, by all means, so, when you mean to do that shit, and you pour your heart into that and whatnot, then that's what my plan has always been. Regardless, if we, and I was saying, if we make it big on our vlogs, dude, I don't give a fuck about money. I've never really cared about money. I will give my money to people and not think twice about it.
I'll have it.
Nice, thanks, man.
If there's any way we can, literally, if there's any way we can help a family or just people with anything, then I'm gonna do that. And
Just pay
I'm
it
telling you,
forward, mate. Yeah.
when we helped the Kent family and we helped Robin, that made me probably the most happiest than any of these other investigations and whatnot. The other business investigations, like the Cobb Mansion, all of them, those the people who own those buildings haven't contacted us to come and do it. I mean, they kind of do, but they don't ask us if we could find out some stuff for them. And that's the thing, that's not what gets me happy. I mean, I love doing it, but what gets me happy is when a family is in dire need of our help, which, a lot of people are probably saying this family's crazy. There's no such thing. But our job is to go over there and give them some closure and make them feel better about where they're living, man. What if they can't afford to move?
Yeah.
They're going to just continue to deal with this?
Yeah.
Especially with the Kent family, man. Like having your little children go through that, and it's just creeping you out. And it's like that place was small, and they clearly can't afford anything bigger for their kids. And it's just in such a small place where you could
Yeah,
see
yeah.
every movement of your children and like everything that they're doing or saying or just that, man. It's incredible that we were able to go down there, and she reached out, and we gave them the closure that they needed to our best capabilities. So
You could see what it meant to you, Ryan. But in the end, you know, on the end of that video, you could really see that genuinely made you happy what you were doing. And yeah, I loved that video, mate. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I think everyone else did as
Yeah.
well, because you
Yeah.
got a shitload of views on that video. It just goes to show that, you know.
I was surprised on how many views we got on that video, and I'm honestly I'm happy because a lot of people who didn't know about us got to see that side of us for the first time, and
Yeah.
that makes me so happy. Instead of them seeing the, I guess you could say, the washo where River gets scratched and I freak out, and like, or like one of the videos where I do get up and I dip out of that room because people are like, "What the hell, man? You're a ghost hunter." And you run from the stuff that you're looking for. Okay, put yourself in my position, because I guarantee you're probably either even bigger, pussy than me, or
Yeah.
you might do exactly what I do. I'm sorry, it's the truth.
Yeah.
I hate when people say, "Oh, what blah blah blah." It's like, dude, at least we are out here, and I haven't given up on my goal.
Exactly.
Dude,
Well,
man.
shit.
I
Yeah,
could have
they're
given
doing
up.
Zach Beggins like jumped out of a window. At least you haven't done that yet, you know?
it.
No.
I've threatened to do it a couple times.
Yeah, in our bloopers, I was like,
In the
I will-
third floor, wasn't it, Nick?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Run up and jump out the third floor window.
yeah.
I've
But
got
what-
a question here.
Sorry, Ben.
That's all right, mate. No worries. I can't remember who's asked the question because I can't find it here. But to Ryan and River, because you are twins, do you have like a connection? Is there any stories, or do you feel like an extra
Oh, dude.
connection like that?
Dude, that happens all the
There's-
time.
There's
Yeah.
one that we will never forget, and it's funny because my brother actually came across a photo of we used to own this old Jeep.
Any
Grand
way I could
Cherokee.
send you that photo, Casper?
Yeah, man, you can send it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll go
so-
ahead and send that to you.
We used to own this old Jeep Cherokee, and we lived in California in the woods, and our parents, just started kind of like fighting a lot, and our mother started drinking pretty heavily, and we were very young, man, probably like 4 or 5 or something, I'd say, but we used to have the same exact dream that
Really?
we were driving down this road in that Jeep, and our mom was driving. We're in the back seat, and we look out of the window, passing all these trees. And when we look back over at our mom, she's gone, and the car's driving itself. And for years, we'd have the same dream, man. And we finally kind of figured out that it could have meant that our mom was going to leave us in our life. And just so happens we ended up moving to Reno, Nevada, and our parents split up, and we didn't hear from our mom for about 3 years almost.
Oh wow.
And
Oh, right.
yeah, and we thought, man, like that dream definitely, like, because it stopped after she was gone.
Really?
And yeah, it was like
Dreams are fucking mental, man. Dreams
Man.
are so crazy.
it was legit like telling us that she was going to be gone, and
Yeah.
there's so much more in depth to the story, and it's a little like weird to talk about, but
Yeah. Yeah.
short story or long story short, yeah, that's what happened. But
Wow.
we do, and Nick and Wyatt have witnessed this firsthand many times. Me and Ryan will say the same exact thing at the same exact time, all the time,
Yeah.
and we'll have.
What
the
about
same
things like
answers.
pains or sensations and things like that?
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
right. You want to talk about the story of you getting run over?
So, here we go, boys.
boys.
You guys ready for some good old stories?
All
Alright.
started with a moped.
These aren't my
So-
arms and these aren't my legs.
No,
What time by that time you got run over?
funny thing, guys. The
Lieutenant Dan,
stories,
is that you?
the stories about Frankenstein are fucking real.
Hence the tattoos to cover the scars.
Yeah. Anyways, so I had actually picked up a moped for about a week. I needed something to, let me travel around town and hang out with my friends and whatnot. Because at the time, mopeds, when I was, I think, roughly around 16, 16 years old, you didn't need a license for those.
Right.
And I was like, fuck that, I'm just gonna get a moped and mob to my friend's house. And so I start driving downtown Reno. It's a pretty big town, or city, yeah, if you say. I'm driving through there, and it's nighttime. It's roughly around 9 to 10 p.m. I'm working on trying to take a left. Obviously, I had to yield, but there was no cars coming on the road because at nighttime there's not really many people. I'm taking a left hand turn onto a back road, and on that corner you can see a bar, and you just see this couple. I could see the whole thing because the moped, when you do accelerate, the moped does not go fast. It takes a minute to
Yeah,
start
it's not instant.
But-
Yeah, I can
Little
imagine that on the
hand,
right.
moped, mate. Yeah.
to start putting away. So I'm trying to take a left, and I see this couple, and this girl's like yelling at her boyfriend. She hops in her 4x4 Ford, lifted, and she pops off of this curb, man, and she is fucked up. She is drunk, dude.
Oh man.
And I'm still in the middle of my left turn. I'm like, oh, please make it safe, dude. Come on, we got
Oh.
this.
Oh
And
no.
she hits me so hard, dude. And this is another thing that I'm also believing, that somebody was watching over me, or something weird is watching over me in River. I get hit so hard, man. I should have died. I
Yeah?
really should have
Holy
died.
shit.
His moped was obliterated. Like
Yeah, it
pieces,
was
dude.
pieces. I wake up midair, and I see, I think I'm at least 5 feet off the ground. I wake up midair because I'm knocked out. Wake up midair, and I am facing the ground, like as if I'm, skydiving into the ground. My whole body, from what witnesses said, is that my whole body did a full flip, and I landed on my fucking feet, guys,
What?
No
Like
way.
with
Spider-Man.
no scratches on my body, with no bruises, no broken bones, nothing
You
Wow.
at all.
lucky bugger.
And
Wow.
No way.
and it gets worse
You should have
because,
done a superhero land, you know?
well, I had blacked out after that. After I remember landing on my feet, after that I blacked out and I hit the ground because, I blacked out, I fainted. I woke back up and I was underneath her truck. So she had actually
my-
she knew she had hit me. She tried
Try to finish you off.
flee. She tried to flee the area. And so I woke up underneath her truck, and the reason why she couldn't go anywhere is because my moped was so jammed underneath her truck that she couldn't go anywhere. The moped
my-
had stopped her,
Oh my
literally.
God.
No way.
So
man.
here's where the story plays in about the pain, whether we feel each other's pain.
Yeah.
So ironically, I was right down the road. I just had gotten like a new road bike, just pedaling away.
Yeah.
And I turn the corner and I'm going down this road and I see the crash. But shortly before, I lost my breath. I like started getting really dizzy and I didn't understand what was going on. And I
No way.
turned the corner. And there's an ambulance, fire truck, police cars, and I just see these pieces of a bike all over the ground, and I instantly knew.
No way.
Knew that it was Ryan.
What?
And I bike up to this crowd. There must have been like 20 people just standing there, and I said, "Hey, did someone just get hit here?" And they thought it was me because we're
Oh, man.
twins.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So they were like, in shock. I was like, no, like, where's the nearest hospital?
Trying
And
to
they
bundle
point-
you into an ambulance.
Yeah.
No,
They-
it's not
yeah.
me.
Lie
They-
down, it's
they
fine,
pointed me-
honestly.
They pointed me to the hospital, and I biked there as quick as possible. And my dad's going into the building, and
oh wow.
That's mental.
just the irony, me being in the same area, me feeling that way when I did, and me turning that corner and seeing that, and knowing right away that it was Ryan who had been hit by that truck. And I show up to the hospital, go up to the room, and Ryan's fine. He's in a neck brace because they forced him to wear it. But he looks at me, and I just knew right away he was fine.
Oh, crazy.
but it's just so weird.
That
man.
is
And,
strange, isn't it? Hey, how like that is so damn weird. And like there's so many people out there who've got these types of stories, like these twins and triplets and things like that. Like they've got like that's something I really do believe in, that they, like people are connected in that way, you know.
Especially
it's
identical twins, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's a lovely little gift. You know, I think it's amazing.
yeah, no, for
Amazing.
sure.
I'd love it.
One question
Love to have a twin.
I'm dying to ask. Okay, and I'm sure the listeners as well is gonna want to hear. What did it feel like for you guys when Nuke's top 5 featured you in one of his videos? What did it feel like?
That was
Dude,
mental.
okay,
It-
I'm gonna.
It was the beginning of our breaking point, you know, or not breaking point, but our takeoff, you know.
So before any of this happened, I'm sorry, Riv, but I want to mention this.
You better be sorry.
I am. I'm very sorry.
I won't film you.
You
tonight.
should be able to feel that he's sorry, right?
Well,
Yeah.
so
I don't
when
feel
we actually had been watching Nuke's top 5 for years, man. Like I'm years before we even started doing the ghost hunting and filming and whatnot. And I remember just looking at River. I was like, dude, one day, if we do end up continuing our scary stuff and figuring out what we want to be doing with the ghost hunting and whatnot, one day it would be a dream. And I even told River I would die if he features us.
Hmm.
And I was so mind blown when we ended up moving back to Reno into Wyatt's place. I just had this weird gut feeling. This weird like moment where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna send some of our shit to Nuke and see what he says.
Oh, so you
And
sent your stuff to Nuke, yeah?
yeah. I gave it a shot, and I had gotten one of our old friends who also does paranormal investigating. He mentioned, he's like, well, just give it a shot. I think you guys have a chance.
It's well
Why
deserved,
don't you give it a
mate.
shot?
It's well
And
deserved.
he featured us, and I was, dude, I think I actually shed a tear. I'm pretty sure we were all like
Yeah.
bouncing around like little kids watching it on the in the living room on the
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is it, man. We went from 2,000 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers in, I think, 2
Wow.
weeks.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, dude, our goal was to get 10,000 by the end of the year. It wasn't even nearly close
Yeah.
to the end of the year. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude, what's going to happen? Like, I think we're actually going to be noticed.
Yeah.
But because of Nuke, this wouldn't have happened, man.
Yeah.
None of this would have happened.
I disagree, Ryan. Not because of Nuke.
Well,
It would
the
have happened. but
the
it just been a
exposure.
lot
Right.
I think
slower.
I think it
yeah,
helped
exactly.
kickstart, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It
Exactly.
would have taken a little longer, obviously. And
Because
it
the
was
thing is,
definitely a boost.
yeah, the thing is like you can be the greatest entertainer out there, you know, you can be, give out professional stuff, but the thing is, if you haven't got that with YouTube, if you haven't got that initial that community there, which is getting the watch time, which is doing the shares and all that sort of stuff, it's tough, man. It's really,
yeah.
really tough, especially when you've got like, between 1 and 1,000 subscribers. It is really tough to get that analytics to go, oh shit, people like this. Let's push it forward. Let's recommend this. And
I will say this though. I will say this. I am truly thankful for Nuke, only because on a other level, other than him helping us out and sharing our stuff and whatnot. He's literally a real genuine guy. He's so nice, because I've actually had that, not only had that dream of being shared, also had that dream of being his friend that I never ever thought would ever happen in my life. Somebody who I'd watched for years actually became good friends with the guy, to where we can have a normal conversation and and not talk about YouTube, talk about our personal life, and just help each other out in that form, if you can say,
yeah,
So
absolutely,
it's
mate.
awesome.
It is, and I mean, obviously, I don't maybe know him as well as you say, but for obviously when I started reacting to his channel, obviously he reached out, and I think it would be okay for me like saying this, but I think when I first started doing some reactions and stuff, I didn't know anything about Nuke's top 5. I just I just YouTubed scary ghost videos, and like his came up, and I was like instantly hooked. So I started making a few videos, and he reached out to me, which I didn't actually see his email. And then I woke up one morning, he's following me on Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Woo! You know?
Yeah.
And then he DM'd me, and he's like, hey, listen, this and that about the videos, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I don't mind you reacting, but can you just do X, Y, and Z? I was like, do you know what, mate? If you want me to do that, I'll do that. Don't you worry about it. And from there is like a couple of back and forth messages. But yeah, absolutely, mate. I can tell that he's an absolute genuine guy. And I've actually reached out to him myself over a sort of like a couple of things regarding sort of like a claim on YouTube, what happens. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to give him a shot, see if he can help. He's obviously sort of like an OG when it comes to this. And he came back and he really helped me out, and absolutely genuine guy. Because the thing is, with somebody who's got like 3.1 now million subscribers, yeah, he could have easily have just said to me, in fact, to you guys, to anybody, do you know what? Fuck it. I don't, why should I help you? I'm where I am now.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
he's so humble, and it's so nice. Yeah. And I think that, the other people out there which react to his channels, like reaction channels, I think, can sometimes get a bad stigma about them, because a lot of people say that you're leeches and things like that. But one thing that I'm happy about is that I do get messages from people saying, hey, look, mate, thanks for reacting to my channel, because you've helped me grow and things like that, because it actually gives people exposure, especially when you've got quite a few views. It gives those other channels some exposure,
Yeah, damn right.
It really,
I agree.
It helps in both sides, I think. It really does. But
immensely.
Yeah, but he's you're right, he's an absolute bloody legend. He really is. And and the thing is, for your guys' point of view, like, it's almost like clarification. That your shit's good, because if it wasn't good, it wouldn't be on Nuke's top 5.
Yeah. No, I agree. He definitely does give us that reassuring feeling that, dude, we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, keep doing it, guys, because I absolutely love it. I
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
Yeah, thank you guys a lot.
But listen, is there anything that you guys want to say to like the listeners? Like, because obviously we're gonna have obviously your guys over here listening. You're gonna have my guys over here listening. Anything you want to say before we sort of like round it up?
Yeah.
If
Well, go ahead, Nick.
mine's quick. If you have something you like, no matter how much it may not be a big thing, or if it's like a small thing or something that's so far out of your reach, go for it anyway, honestly. If it's something like ghost hunting, I'll definitely say be careful and know about what you're doing before you do it. Don't go alone and antagonize anything. But if you have a dream in mind, honestly, we never thought we'd be here this quick, or we knew we'd be here one day, but it's still a shock to actually, be where we are. And use that as an example for yourself in your life, and really anything you want to do. Always try to push for the next thing. And that's just general life advice I could give to everyone, because it's really an endearing thing to like be in this situation and be appreciated. And everyone has that ability, and everyone deserves that, honestly.
Yeah. Absolutely, Nick. I mean, I would second that as well, mate, because there is no shortcuts. Yes, there is a few times when people can, do something, and all of a sudden, shit happens, and it's all hunky dory, happy ever after. But like, from what you guys have just said about what you've done, you've tried this, it didn't really work. You've tried something else, it didn't work. You've tried this, but the passion, you've moved miles around the country and stuff to do certain things. You've dedicated so much time, energy.
That's it, Ben. People don't see the journey that you've been on, do they?
No.
Like the journey that you guys have just described to us with your channel, your Jackass channel, then I've forgotten the name of the other one with the vulture thing.
Yeah, I got something to say.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Man.
go,
man. Always push to be the best you, because yes, it did take us a lot of trial and error to do this. Same with many large company owners. You know, there's been many people who have written books about it, saying, you know, they failed,
Mm.
and then that day that they were going to give up, the next day it happened. You know,
Yeah.
and I strongly believe in this, and always like manifest what you want in life. Tell yourself every day, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. And if you're really that genuine about it, it will happen.
Yeah,
I
man.
promise.
I'm just looking up at my
definitely.
wall now. I've got a printout fake ass picture of a golden play button, and I've actually
Yeah.
typed on
Yep.
it. I've typed on it Casper site. Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
my vision,
1
mate.
million subs. Yeah,
now,
man.
now all I need to do is manifest a girlfriend. You know,
Yeah.
someone that will put up with my BS.
Wait, now
Maybe one
you're
will
gonna
follow
get a
you
load of
home, River.
DMs now, mate. Hi,
Yeah.
hi, River. I
Yeah.
heard that you're
You done did it.
single.
That's the
Hey,
problem,
Rev.
though, man.
I like the
That's
way you fart.
That's exactly. Thanks, Ryan. That's exactly how I don't want to get a girlfriend. You know, I just want it to naturally happen and just work out.
Yeah, man.
But
It will happen,
I don't
mate.
know.
It will happen. Anybody else?
All right. Me, I got this one, boys.
Go for it, man.
Okay.
Close it up, Ryan. Close it up, mate.
All right.
How
Don't eat
the
yellow.
devil are you?
Don't eat yellow slow. Good night.
How the devil are you?
How the devil are you?
Well, what River and Nick was, they were saying, guys, be prepared to work your ass off. I barely sleep anymore. I stress. I have so much stress on me.
Absolutely.
But
Good Lord.
it's worth it. It really is worth it because we get you guys. We get the love. We don't have many friends, and me and River aren't really connected with much family and whatnot. And the reason why we deal with depression and all that stuff is because we felt so alone. And at this moment, since we have all of these viewers, we don't just consider you guys as viewers, never have, and not even fans. We
Mm.
consider you guys as family, and I'm sure Casper feels the same exact
Absolutely,
way
mate.
because you can tell how genuine you are, Casper, with everybody. And this is why I contacted you is because I see it in you, man. I literally feel the same connection, and you have that same mindset as us. Yes, you are funny. We are funny. We do the same shit. We love to create content and whatnot, but that's not the only thing that we like. I think probably 3/4 of this whole journey with YouTube and whatnot all goes to our new family that started watching us, and the people who literally contact us and let us know you guys are doing the right thing. Because I wake up in the morning, I'm stressing out, but I'll go and look at some of the comments. I'm like, wow, I we did this. We made them feel good about themselves. We are there for them, and we try to be as much as we can. There's times when somebody will get upset because we didn't contact them back, but you got to understand how busy we really are. This is not an easy 1 to 2 hour, 2 hours a day on doing work. This is literally almost a 24-hour job here. It is. It's a huge job, and we're gonna continue to grow, and we're so excited for you guys to grow with us.
Beautiful, mate.
Nice,
Lovely.
nice work.
Absolutely. I totally agree, man. Ryan, River, Nick, Wyatt, it's been emotional. It's been absolutely epic. Thank you guys so much for agreeing to do this, man. It's it's bloody brilliant, mate. So yeah, big shout
for
out to
having us.
Twin Paranormal, mate. Round of applause.
Love you
I'm gonna
guys.
do some sound effects of clapping. Twin Paranormal, keep it going, guys. Right, your channel is gonna go crazy. I'm gonna do a reaction to you guys tomorrow, and then yes, mate. I just it better be good because I'll unsubscribe and put a
The
dislike.
cop man.
Yeah, we'll copyright you.
Thank you, Mace, and thank you, Casper. You guys are amazing.
Yeah,
you guys,
thank you,
you guys
guys.
are awesome.
Guys.
Man, you take it
Thank
easy,
you,
guys.
guys.
Thanks to you guys and Casper for inviting me in.
Oh, mate,
I
thank
loved it.
you, man.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Take care.
peeps. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Bye.
Take care,
Bye, bye,
guys.
bye.